and temperatures as low as 60 degrees can be deadly for children left behind. So always bring them with you, and every time you park the car, stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We are all for first-time guests and longtime friends. All for First Light and Starlight. For road trips and trail runs. All for mountaintops and monuments. River bends and battlefields. We're all for showing up and giving back. To protect, to preserve, to pass it on. All parks depend on us, and we're all for parks. Join us at nationalparks.org/allforparks.
Every 16 seconds, an American receives a cancer diagnosis, and every minute of every day, another person loses their life to cancer. That's why Stand Up to Cancer has set a bold goal to make early-stage detection an essential part of standard of care for all cancers. So often, if cancer is detected early, the chance of long-term survival is 90%. So if we all support cancer research, more than 2 million lives can be saved in the next decade. So join the mission and help save lives today at standuptocancer.org.
The road to Adelup is in full swing. We recently spoke with Democrat candidates Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Senator Tina Munilla Barnes to learn more about their vision for Guam. Catch the full conversation that took place on May 26th on the Wave 105's YouTube channel. This is a glimpses of Guam radio station.
News, insight, conversation. Wave 105, the talk of Guam.
105.1 The Wave is the talk of Guam.
You ready? Who's ready for some of that good love? Count me out!
And you've got it tuned in to Mornings with Patti.
Come on! 1, 2. Good love, that's what I'm drinking. Let's sip it down, go without thinking. Good love, that's what I'm making. We'll break this house when it stops shaking. Come on, come on. Fun must get me up to get me down. But something
Let's get it on. All right, that's a whole nother song, isn't it? That's fine. That's fine. Get that energy, girl. We need it. Get that energy, guys. Good morning, everyone. Is this not a bittersweet kind of moment that we're having here? Like, people are going to work and they're like, oh, okay, short work weekend. Short work week.
Excited
We
for
got
that.
a big old, weekend coming up, July 4th, and we had so many plans. And then you go, oh, dang. Did I buy enough batteries? Do I have the tarp down? Do I have the manpower to come and do the things? And yeah, you don't know. So, I say this is where you call in all those favors, because the last ones that you had in Senlaku, too much time between. Not enough time between, right, to call out the forces again.
For sure.
Not enough time. Not enough time. So you probably have to start calling in your favors at this point, because, dude. Yesterday, I'm on a hunt for a lot of things. I need a lot of things in the next couple of weeks, and so, I'm like texting everybody. I'm sending out signals all over the place. I have so many text messages from so many different vendors that now I'm still trying to process who I sent messages to and what I was ordering. So I just, you know what, I was talking to Cerise last night. I was a little bit overwhelmed. I was like, and I don't usually get overwhelmed, and I think which is why I was so frustrated. I was like, and it wasn't a negative venting. It was like, I'm out of control. That feeling, that whole 1 week, darn that liver, that whole 1 week knocked me out of commission, right? So I'm like picking up the pieces from those things that I had started before that emergency happened. And then now, and Cerise just said, you know what, Cerise is a very spiritual girl. So she's like, you just got to trust God. He's got a plan. I'm like, you sound like Grandmama Arroyo right now. Mother of a priest, mother of a nun. Grandma Arroyo used to say that, in God we trust. She would always say that. And it's kind of like an in the ear and out the other side. And you're a teenager running around and you're just, in God we trust every time you talk to your grandmother. And so those words are emblazoned into my brain. So I don't forget that often. But I think that just humanity allows us to be frustrated. It's not you're departing from anything that you're your regular road. But I tell you, I said I can't. If I'm stressing over like, are the shutters okay? And there are people, and you do have to put it in perspective. And there are other people who I don't care if you even have a strong home that nothing really much will happen, or that you've not had it. It's your property. It's your home. It's what your biggest investment. And even if you're not a homeowner and you're renting, it's still your biggest investment, protecting, first of all, life and property. So you got to kind of put it in perspective and this already, there's always someone who's got a worse situation than you do. And you kind of look around and you go, shut up. Shut up, Arroyo. You got no problems. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to sleep off this sad drunkenness is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sleep it off. We're going to wake up in the morning and we're going to just enjoy the fact that we're all going to be together. I went yesterday and stocked up on snacks and stocked up on snacks. So, hey, I think a few Monopoly games and a lot of prayer will probably get us through. The person who's going to tell us all about that, however, is Landon Idlet, because every time one of these statements comes out, it just sounds worse and worse for Guam, doesn't it? It just sounds like I was sent a graphic yesterday of a direct hit. Right. So there's a lot. Well, and there's a lot of people that are asking this morning. They're just waking up. What's the latest? And this is why we try to get Idlet on early in the morning so that he can start your day with the knowledge of what the rest of your day needs to look like as you're going about your business. And as usual, the hardware stores are doing their things. I sent Sean yesterday to Home Depot. Took him about, I swear, I don't know what the kid was doing, but it took him about 2.5 hours. To get through. And he was really buying cement nails. You know them concrete nails?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he's bought a packet of that. And then I told him to pick up some other things. And he goes, well, that means now I need to buy some straps for the truck. So it's all of these things. I said 3 hours, 2.5 hours. So, and he said it was packed. He said there were just a lot of people. So people are out there. You know what we are, though?
What's up?
A little smarter than we were in Sinlaku.
Oh, hopefully.
They've got these little,
Hopefully.
I don't know, are there 18-volt type, like, power chargers?
Okay.
You ever see those portable chargers?
Right on, yeah.
When they had that really bad weather that was pouring through Oahu or the Hawaiian Islands several months ago, late last year, the kid's dad was telling me that what they did was they went and bought a couple of those. And like 18 volt, I know they go higher, but it was just a charge at them thing to keep things on. So they were able to run, I don't know how many volts they had, but it was like able to run like a small refrigerator or a refrigerator and then charge their batteries and keep the TV on. I don't know, like, again, I don't know the size of it, but they said they got two of them so they could also run like a fan in order. So they were pretty comfortable considering the situation, right?
Nicely done. Good job, guys. Hey.
Yeah.
Good
Good job. Okay. Preparedness, trying to make it as convenient. We just came out of Sinlaku, and I think the sweat is still the sweat is still a memory. A short memory, but we all still remember what we were like tossing and turning with no air con and the windows that were open, but not a breeze coming through. And we were just sort of in stagnant air. And everybody went out and bought those fans for those Ryobi fans over at Home Depot. It'll set you back a bit. But again, today's a government gone payday. So there's a lot of people who are going to be walking around with a little extra cash. To go out and pick up the things that they need. So that's kind of the order of the day. We're going to oh shoot, what did I do? I just texted the wrong person about something they need to do. Isn't that terrible? Because it's about to happen and they don't even know. Sorry, it's anyway. We got some really interesting things that were sent. It's the year. It's the year of the manila envelope mysteriously appearing on your front step. And if you are in the news business, then you know what I'm talking about. People are circulating information all the time. and information that's circulating about their competitors or competitors of their party for office. It happens every election year that somewhere someone is, dropping the hint about a thing or two. So yesterday, I got a call from someone who was talking about some things that were happening with this ethics complaint before the Guam Election Commission. And this was a complaint that I wasn't here when it happened, but this is a complaint that was filed by Jordan Paloon, who's running for the Attorney General's office. And he filed a complaint with the Guam Election Commission. And that complaint was to argue that Doug Moylan has committed his loyalty to the Republican Party in his capacity as the Attorney General. That he's had photos of him appearing in pocket meetings and rallies I don't know about rallies, but definitely in support of some of these events that are taking place in the Republican Party. And he's shown up and very prominently displaying his loyalty to the Republican Party, even doing so in a national organization of attorneys general where they are declaring their party affiliation, which would rule you ineligible. The Attorney General is not supposed to be party based. The Attorney General is supposed to prosecute everybody, no matter what party affiliation, what gender, what any of these specific identifiers are. He doesn't work for the Republican Party to prosecute only Democrats, and he shouldn't have a voice that would show that he's biased toward anything, which is why they don't declare their party relationship. What they are by their affiliations in the past, you can't avoid knowing what they are. Doug Moylan has been a declared Republican, even when he wasn't the Attorney General. Mary Camacho Torres was a Republican senator when she was once sitting in the legislature. And Alicia Limtiaco ran with Frank Gunn Jr. For the lieutenant gubernatorial seat as a Democrat. So we know what their party affiliations are. You just don't declare such and parade it around in your pursuit for the Attorney General's office because you're supposed to be neutral. We're going to talk a little bit about that and some other interesting things about this that have surfaced in recent days. I just need to pinpoint when they've surfaced. Are these old? Are these new? We'll take that apart. I do want to talk to Jordan Paloon, who is also, again, he's a candidate for the Attorney General's office. And the reason I'm interviewing him is not because of his candidacy, but because of the complaint that he filed with GEC, of which he received a response. We'll talk about that. We also got Governor Lilian Guerrero coming up here in about 45 minutes-ish. She'll be talking to us about typhoon prep, obviously. And we got big plans. The hospital and other things that are in the wings, and a couple of other op-ed pieces that showed up that are criticizing a number of things that are happening around Guam. But that's par for the course right now. The most important person to us is Landon Idlet from the National Weather Service. All right, Landon, what's the word?
It's not good. It's a lot of bad words that come to mind right now. This 9W, now a tropical storm, it's intensifying, and rapid intensification is anticipated in the coming days and as it's approaching our region. This is not looking good for any of us in Guam or the CNMI.
Okay. Let's get the data. Tell us what we're up against. Tell us tell us speed. Tell us what's in the middle. Tell us a name. I mean, it still feels like it's a small little thing until you actually give it a name, right? Then it becomes personal.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. And so right now it's still 9W. It's a tropical storm, but the fact that it does not have a name indicates that the Japan Meteorological Agency, the Tokyo Typhoon Center, has not analyzed this as a tropical storm yet. I think that's going to be changing any moment now. And when they do assign the name, it's going to be Bavi. So this is going to be a repeat from, I think, 2015 as far as name. But the Bavi of 2015 was a kind, little, gentle beast. This one has the potential to be a monster. And this is why we're going to be doubling down on communications, coordinations, and messages of preparedness and actions to protect life and property, because any one of our islands could be dealing with a significant scenario coming up early next week.
Okay. First of all, how do you spell Bavi?
Bavi, B-A-V-I.
Oh, Bavi. And it means kind, gentle beast?
No.
No. What does it
The
mean?
Bavi of 2015 was a kind and gentle beast for us.
Oh, okay. But what does Bavi mean? I'm sorry, the origin of the word.
I do not have a meaning for that one.
That's okay. It's like,
see.
oh, all right, if you want to do that. We'll hold off.
Yeah, I don't have a meaning for that one, but it originates from Vietnam. So I have to talk to some of my Vietnamese counterparts and find out.
I'm sure
the next storm on the list would be Maysac, and we've had Maysac in the past, and that was a major one for the FSM. And so, yeah, it's going to be a busy week. Bavi, I think we'll see that name pop out from the Japan Meteorological Agency at some point today once they analyze 9W as being tropical storm intensity. But the Joint Typhoon Warning Center did upgrade in their forecast from a depression to a tropical storm early this morning with maximum winds of 40 miles per hour. I'm looking at this latest bulletin that's coming out just now. I'm going to have to redo all my graphics that I've been working on for the last hour to reflect this newest information before I send out an all-hands email. They have maximum sustained winds now up to 40 knots. I think that translates to 45 miles per hour. So this thing is intensifying. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center does anticipate steady intensification through the day today, but warn of rapid intensification over the next, starting in around 20 to 24 hours from now, likely lasting for a day or two. The question is, how fast will it intensify? How long will it rapidly intensify? What is the peak end of this intensification as it's approaching our islands? We have 3 days for things to shift, wobble, and change. So there's still a little bit of room for some hope for any number of our islands, but there's also 3 days for a lot of strengthening, a lot of development, and a lot of problems to emerge with this tropical cyclone.
What is the scenario that it would wobble or it would move or something? What does that scenario look like? What are we praying for? What kind of pressure on this thing are we praying for?
We definitely don't want to pray for it to go north because the trends have been holding steady between Rota and Tinian, and I think it's going to be hard to get any northward motion, and so I think any deviation is going to be limited. We can pray and hope for it to go to the south and pass well south of Guam to keep those worst winds off our shore and pass between Yap and Guam, but that's also a limited possibility. The cone of uncertainty that we see in our graphics, 66% of the time in that forecast track, the center of a tropical cyclone will stay within that cone. We've seen that with Senlaku, Mawar, U2, and other systems. They've been on the north end or the southern end of that cone, but most of the time it's going to stay within that cone. Guam and all of the lower CNMI are smack in the middle of that cone.
Yep.
So even though the forecast tracks the last 3 cycles since yesterday have it passing near or south of Tinian, Guam is really right in the possible crosshairs of a direct passage. And so we're taking this seriously. My messaging to people is everyone in Guam and CNMI needs to anticipate and plan for tropical storm force winds at least.
If it's sorry, go ahead.
If it's a direct hit, my gosh, it's going to be a whole lot worse.
Yeah, looking at some of the graphics that have been circulating from the National Weather Service with Tinian looking like right smack in the middle of this target range, but we are still talking about a large. Give me the size of this, where these bands will continue. I mean, that outward from that center, and will still have a lasting effect on Rota and Guam as well.
Yeah, and I don't have an exact size measurement at this time on the system, but if this is the Saipan and Tinian hit, we're going to still feel the effects of this. Think back to Senlaku. We took a heavy hit from tropical storm force conditions on the southern periphery of Senlaku as it ravaged Tinian and Saipan. If this is the Saipan and Tinian hit again, we're definitely going to be feeling tropical storm force winds, especially as this wind field increases and expands. So we do have to keep that in mind. If this tracks closer to us, whether it's Rota, the Rota channel, or directly over Guam, we're going to be feeling the full brunt of whatever this is at the time of passage. And so that remains uncertain. Any one of our islands is in fair play for a direct pass. It could still pass right in the middle of Rota and Tinian and keep those strongest winds over the open water in the channel.
Yeah.
That would be great. Typhoon Balavan did that in late 2023. So minimal damage and impacts across Tini and Saipan and Rota, but I think that's going to be the most best case scenario we can see at this time, among some other things. That subtropical ridge to our north, we do see a little bit of play with that with this overall steering, but we're going to see another ridge reinforce that westward motion, more west of northwest. So it's going to be maintaining that general west-northwestward track toward our region, and we're just not seeing much deviation in the global ensemble members, the forecast models. Everything's been holding steady for somewhere between Guam and Pagan, and it looks like it's more so closing in between Guam and Anatahan.
It continues to strengthen, forecast to become an extremely dangerous major typhoon. That advisory, I guess this is number 4, shows a slight southward trend, increasing the threat to Guam while maintaining very high threat for Rototini and Saipan. Tell me what a major typhoon, what are you saying when you say a dangerous major typhoon? Are we talking the potential for 100+ miles an hour?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when we say major typhoon, that's category 3, 4, and 5. And a super typhoon is, of course, a high-end category 4 or a category 5 with maximum winds of 150 miles per hour. So let me look through my chart. I have all these graphics in my slide presentation from the past. But category 3, that's well over 100 miles per hour sustained winds. And so that's a distinct possibility as we go toward this weekend and early next week with this thing approaching. So there's potential that we could be seeing category 3, category 4 conditions, possibly category 5. I think this latest bulletin does have a category 4 pushing through the islands, a high-end category 4.
Oh, that's not comforting at all. When you say rapidly intensifying, are we moving up the schedule for this potential arrival? You know, we were talking about Sunday into Monday. Are we talking about it anytime sooner as it continues to rapidly come toward us and get stronger?
But definitely, we're not rapid intensification. It's more so the intensity. So we're not looking at a faster time of arrival with rapid intensification, but the strengthening is going to be faster. The current forecast does indicate that in its plots and its wind speeds. So we are anticipating that. So what you're seeing is the best forecast at this time. We're still looking at a passage sometime Monday morning with those onsetting conditions, likely sometime on Sunday. And going through the day on Monday with a passage to the islands, most likely Monday morning, Monday midday. But that's still up for change and shifts as more information becomes available in the next 3 days.
Definitely a tarps down, shutters up occasion. And, again, as it would be in our best interest that maybe people didn't really want to spend their Fridays putting up shutters, but, I'm pretty sure that there will be some time dedicated. The events that are taking place on Friday and on Saturday, these events are still on as far as you know it. You've not advised or recommended that people really take a second or third look at whether or not they still want to book these events, picnics and fireworks, and there's a festival in Tossi Festival in Malesu. All of these outdoor activities. What's your advice? Or have you given advice?
Reach out to Homeland Security or your local village mayor. They'll have all the finer details. But I think the Maleso Festival this weekend has been canceled. I know there's a lot of activities planned. Speak to the organizers, the Homeland Security, and the Mayor's Council. They'll have the best information. But I do believe a number of events are being canceled or reconsidered at this time. Okay.
Well, we'll double check that, but I do appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to add before we pick your brain later?
I really think that's it. Definitely, we need to take this serious. The weather's going to be fine, fair, and favorable today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Use that time to take action, to be prepared, and to stay tuned. Hope that we don't get the full brunt of this, but if we do, we have to be ready to roll with it.
That's what we do. We roll with it. I appreciate it. We're actually pretty good at that, rolling with it. Thanks so much, Landon. Of course, we're available to you if you want to get back on the air.
Thank you so much, Patty.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much. Bottom of the hour now. I hope you've all absorbed all of that. We'll continue to keep you up to date. You're more than welcome to ask us, what the latest is. But there are plenty of resources by which to do that. You can certainly go to their website, and they are on Facebook. And Landon's pretty good about making sure that is constantly updated. Just a word of advice to those who are avid, social media influencers or people who like to share this information on social media. Whatever you're going to post, can you delete the post before? Because you don't know how long that information has become outdated. So as you're going along, erase or delete whatever your previous post was, so that people are not confused as to what would be the latest. And sometimes you're going to get bum information, absolutely going to get outdated information, which nobody needs. So if your mission is to inform people, just do us all a favor and make sure the information is accurate. Appreciate that. Bottom of the hour now. Take a quick break here. Be back.
Hungry and need gas? Mobile's got you covered. Now through July 31st, Mobile Smiles app members can enjoy a free 6-inch Subway sandwich with every minimum fill-up of $30 gas at any Guam mobile station. Available exclusively on the mobile app. It's an easy summer win. Fuel up, open the app, and enjoy the rewards. Not a member yet? Pick up a Mobile Smiles card at any mobile location and register today. Mobile and Subway, a great deal for the summer. See store for details. Hoppity Guam. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. 36 minutes after 6 o'clock on a Thursday, July 2nd. We're going to go ahead and hit the streets right now. This will be your first look at this morning's traffic report being brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. You could schedule a test drive. All you got to do is give us a call at 478-AUTO. Or if you'd like to look at our inventory, check out our website. That is GuamAutospot.com. All right, guys, let's see what we got burning up on the northern end of the island. It looks like traffic is light, moving nicely up and around Anderson Air Force Base. Smooth sailing all the way into Dedido, as well as our friends along Route 3. That's going to be coming around Machina. Astumbo hopping on to East Sangsong Road, getting around GRMC. No delays there. Machechi Road is just as clear. Traffic is quite light this morning, coming around the Micronesia Mall, Upper Tumon, Lower Tumon, or getting around T10 as well as Barragata. Mongmong, Tuktu, Mighty, Hagatnya traffic is light, and getting around Manilao this morning. Traffic on the southern end of the island is moving smoothly for our friends getting up and around Ipan, Talafofu, coming around Jotnya this morning. Let's just continue to keep our eyes on the roads, not on the phones. No texting and driving on the streets of Guam. Ensure that your seatbelts are fastened and that our kids are strapped safely in the proper booster and car seats. You do want to allow braking distance between yourselves and the vehicle in front of you, and we should all be able to have ourselves a safe Thursday morning. This is your traffic report here on the Wave 105 FM, and it's all being brought to you by Guam Auto Spot.
Guam is building the future, and the right conversations start here. SAME Guam Post invites you to the 2026 Industry Forum happening July 28 through 30 at the Dusitani Resort. Join military, government, and industry leaders as they come together to discuss Guam's future in infrastructure, resilience, and regional growth. This premier event connects you to Guam's next generation of infrastructure. Registration is open. Visit GuamIndustryForum.com. The 2026 SAME Industry Forum, delivering Indo-Pacific readiness.
Your island, your conversations, your station, Wave 105.1 FM, Glimpses Media.
What? What you looking at?
No, just waiting on you, girl. Get comfortable.
I'm just trying to
make sure I'm queuing you
live
up, right?
together.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Take your time.
Hoo-wee. All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear about the Tasi Festival. He said that they'd already canceled. I'm going to try and get a hold of the mayor up down there and find out whether or not, or what the situation is. But dang, let's see. Wait, I can't. I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. Call me. I'll just ask her to call me. Anyway, 20 minutes. Your typos are too big for me. I can't. You do that predictive texting. I am the worst. Oh. I just sent the phone number to somebody who already knows the phone number. I got you. And I because I made a mistake on the phone number that I was sending it to the original person who was supposed to talk to. You know what I'm saying? You ever do that? No. You ever? Oh. You've never crossed. Oh. Let's see. Okay. It is 20 minutes before 7 o'clock, and Landon Idlet sounds very frustrated and probably a little weather weary. I mean, these hit and misses and these false alarms. Well, they're not false alarms, but when you're in the business of navigating, public emergencies, everything has to be considered emergencies an emergency until it's not. Right. And so you got to treat all of this because you're disseminating information. More information is always better than less information. And so I can see the frustration. He goes, yeah, there's not, I go, what's the word? He goes, it's not good. And I can think of a few bad words right now to describe what's happening. I think there was a lot of pressure during Sinlaku because the meteorologists, those are basically folks who know weather, have maybe even were meteorologists or are meteorologists, but now have taken to social media to show their skills, have overcome the ones that are currently doing this under the National Weather Service banner. And these guys are getting paid. They're influencers. They need subscribers. They need people who like their page. And he's competing with information that may or may not be correct. And you can't vet everything. So you got to just kind of bebop and do what you want. But when you get stopped at the store and somebody says, I hear it's, coming and it's going to be, or I hear it's not even a big deal, you got to be able to tell them what the story is, and you can't do personalized forecasts like that everywhere you go. It is time consuming, so I can hear the frustration. 6:42. I know there's a lot of frustration up in Saipan. Talked to Brad Rosala yesterday, having he's going on vacation, and it just doesn't look good for Saipan as much as it doesn't look good for Guam, Tinian, and Rota. Carlotta Leon Guerrero from the Atsuta Foundation continues to clean up or help support the recovery from Sinlaku. So here we are with another typhoon staring us literally straight in the face. Carr joins us on the line now. What are you doing up there, Carr, picking up the pieces and then, trying to avoid them falling apart again?
Yes, I listened to the weather report, and just huge anxiety. I mean, I wish I could say otherwise, but it's huge anxiety. And the reason for that right now is the Atsuta Foundation sent 5 pallets of medicine on a fishing boat up to Saipan yesterday, and it unloaded, and now it just left, and the boat's on its way back. It's the Arrivo. Joel Sablon and is one of the captains, and he's on the boat right now. And so I just have all this anxiety. I can't relax or calm down until the boat is back on Guam. So even though, I'm looking at the weather window, and even though they're saying that out until like Friday or Saturday, but the boat won't get in until early this evening. So huge anxiety until that happens. But the medicine did arrive in Saipan. It's going to the Saipan hospital. It's enough medicine for 10,000 people for 90 days. So it's going to make a huge, huge positive impact on the hospital's delivery of care. So we're happy about that. But
what
just
kind of
medicines until the boat gets back.
I know that you and I have had conversations because there are some medicines that are lacking, and these are support medicines for conditions like asthma or bronchitis or things. These are emergency rescue. I think they call them rescue medicines, and these are like. Pumps. You know what I'm talking about? They're puffers.
Yes, that's what we first sent up. Well, this is it's called an IEHK, Inter-Emergency Health Kit, and it is put together by UNICEF, which stands for United Nations Children's Fund, and WHO, World Health Organization. They're designed to be dropped into disaster areas, refugee camps, or war zones, so they hit the ground running. What you're describing was our first initial response to help out in Rota and Tinian and Saipan with breathing, oxygen concentrators, oxygen tanks, nebulizers, asthma inhalers. That was breathing was one of the emergency needs that the hospital and the clinics had. So we responded to that right away. This is 10,000 meds for 10,000 people in primary care. So this is primary care meds to help the hospital.
Okay. This is one of those situations you just sort of don't think about these little details that, you know, a lot of people do suffer from respiratory ailments, either minor or major,
yes.
but it's definitely fed by the environment when it's hot and it's humid and it's dusty. All of these are contributing factors to somebody having some kind of labored breathing. And for a time there just wasn't there. The resources just weren't there to accommodate a larger volume of people who probably just found out then that they had respiratory problems right after
Well, and one of the things that we had to source and buy and send was battery-operated nebulizers to help asthma patients breathe. If you have no power, you can't plug it in. So then it was very specific battery-operated nebulizers. So we were, Azuda was able to hit the wish list of Rhoda Health Center, Tinian, and Saipan, but this was a big one. And the reason why we had to go up on a fishing boat is that FEMA has booked all the air cargo space between Guam and Saipan. So there was no way to get on there commercially. I was hoping to get military airlift, but that wasn't possible either. So we did it the old-fashioned way. We contracted, chartered a boat, and sent the medicine up, rather than the hospital needs it. So books, canned goods can sit and wait a little bit, but meds, you got to move that fast.
Yeah. You know, depending on who you talk to, there's any number of folks that are out there doing what they can in support. You know, having spoken with the Coast Guard, we had a conversation with members of the Coast Guard who was talking about the items that are still needed. And, you know, the situation with the water, I know that Azuda has been able to provide, you know, vetted water, basically. But there seems to be, or is there, a scare of there being a water crisis eventually? I mean, I don't want to make it sound like, you know, the island is going to dry up, but a variety of sources are talking about the supply and the ability to desalinate water up there using the equipment that was donated to you.
Yes, we had two systems, reverse osmosis machines, donated to Azuda by Samaritan's Purse. I donated one immediately to my working partner, Nob Kalau of Pacific Missionary Aviation. So he has one, and it is in Pohnpei right now. The other one that Azuda kept is now in Chuuk. And I have a 5-man team that Azuda is using donations that we've received. The 5-man team will start going into Chuuk beginning July 5th. We're committed to making water there for a month. And then we're going to pull our plan is to then pull the machine back to Guam and, you know, maintain it and give it some downtime. So I got a call yesterday from Saipan. One of the officials up there was saying that, wanting to know where the reverse osmosis machines were, anticipating that it might be needed to come back to Saipan if the worst happens. And a typhoon hits again.
But I mean, if there is a crisis, those reverse osmosis machines it can produce a lot of water. Would that be just that's not going to be a sole source as much as it is to contribute to relieve the problem?
Yes, each one of our reverse osmosis machines can make 500 gallons of water an hour, 10,000 gallons over a 20-hour period. So it's a significant help towards water security in the wake of a disaster. Also, I know that the Azuda Foundation in our warehouse, we still have cases of bottled water And I think there's probably one or two containers still coming in from the mainland, from the diaspora, that will probably also contain water. So everybody's starting to pay attention to and doing a count of where the water is and how much, who's got what, where it's located.
Okay. All right. I'm pretty sure they've got it all figured out. In the meantime, what have you heard about about Saipan and or the CNMI at this point as you're continuing relief operations? And I don't know if you got a bit of challenge. You've been trying to get clothing to people since I think last week or the week before.
The Azuda Foundation never asks for clothing during a drive. We never ask for it because we know enough of it's going to come in. No matter, you don't have to ask for it. It'll just come in with canned goods and water and other tarps, other essential items. So clothing becomes the most time-consuming commodity that you have to deal with, and that was the case here. So we're doing our best to move the clothing. We've tried multiple ways giving it away. We tried charging $5 for a bag of it, and 200 people took advantage of that. But it created some concern among people that donated, whether that was appropriate. So we stopped that. On Father's Day, the first free giveaway, 500 people stood in line for hours to get free clothes on Father's Day. That just kind of gives you an idea that that's not a healthy sign. That just gives you an idea that this CNMI, Saipan, still needs a lot of help. But now the clothes, we're doing everything we can, going out to the community with boxes and tables, saying, here's free clothes. So we're slowly getting unburied from the pile of clothes that came in.
Oh, that's good. But are you now going into the communities and just having them delivered? I understood that was a thing.
Yes. Like setting up tables in community centers and schools in different areas with signs saying free clothes and putting boxes of clothes and letting people sort through it. And so, yes, we are doing that now.
Okay. All right. Car, is there anything you want to add while we have you on the line?
Yes, the medicine that we sent to Saipan yesterday, we also, United, carried 4 pallets of medicine to Chuk Hospital. So it was the same thing. It's enough medicine for 10,000 people, and United carried it for us. So the Azuda Foundation, we were founded to, if you look at our logo, we've got a stethoscope in our logo. We started as a health organization, medical missions, doctors, and so we always have a focus on helping and supporting hospitals and health clinics. So yesterday we were able to deliver on medicine that we ordered 3 weeks ago, but because of the commercial air backlog, the meds couldn't get to Weno and they couldn't get to Saipan. So I said, get it to Guam and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Okay. Well, good to know. Indeed. Good to know. All right, Car, is there anything, again, that's pretty much, you're just going to keep an eye on this storm because I don't, you still do have some carryover things in that Triple J warehouse, right?
Yes. We have a lot of stuff still in the warehouse. Our distribution is slowed. We went from having 200 volunteers down to 6. So we're still pushing out more people since we talked about our delivery issues. Different businesses with delivery trucks and churches have stepped up and are helping us. But yes, the people of Guam and the diaspora love the CNMI, and it's evident by how much stuff was sent to them. And yes, our warehouse is still distributing. And we are committed until the end of August. So that's how much stuff is there, and that's how great the need is in the CNMI. So we're committed to operating the warehouse till the end of August. And if we have to, if another storm comes to the area, we would reevaluate that.
Okay. Well, keep us up to date, Car. I know we're all going to be patiently watching as this storm, soon to be called Bobby, which was a repeat. It was a repeat name from 2015. that I think that it was a kind, gentle beast is I think what they called it in 2015. But hopefully, this will be the same situation. But it doesn't sound like that's going to be the kind, gentle beast. He says it looks more like a monster, which is what we don't want to hear today.
Yeah, that's what we don't want to hear. So if I could just say anything to everybody, well wishes and prayers for the Revo fishing boat that left Saipan, now on its way back to Guam after delivering meds.
So
I won't
how long
relax until Revo's back.
So that feeling that you have right now, that's the feeling that I have all the time. I have a kid in the air, making their way back. When you're at 38,000 feet for a sustained 5, 6, 7 hours, you get a little antsy. But I'm sure it'll all be okay. I'm sure that everything will work out for you. I appreciate it. Well, let us keep us. Now you got me. I got a time clock for all of this stuff that I'm managing. Make sure you let me know. I hope to see you later. Okay. Thanks so much for the time. All right, Carlotta Leon Guerrero, founder. She doesn't like the title part of it. She was a co-founder of the Azuda Foundation, and they've been in business for a while. I speak to her frequently because the Azuda Foundation has gained a lot of support over the years as one of those organizations that is on the front lines and like other organizations on the front lines sooner than when the event actually takes place. And when you're positioned the way these charitable organizations or civic organizations do, when you're positioned early, you can get in there quicker, and people do appreciate rapid response in emergencies like this. It really is interesting because I never kind of thought about some of these logistics about how what people's needs are. We always think about people, losing, to flooding and maybe windows broken and debris in their yard or trees falling and the like. And the cleanup is daunting. You step outside and you see what that looks like, and you just go, oh my God, there's just a lot of work to do. And you always prepare that there's going to be a lot of work to do, which is why you try not to make it too much harder for you, the following day or when after the storm is gone. But we don't think about stuff like medicine that people need, that they are unable to get anyway, right? And to be able to, to address that need only becomes because people ask. They're made aware of it because they've got boots on the ground that will tell them these are necessities. And I'm going to just point out one kid that I know that has just dedicated all of his being toward this, and this is Kai Merle. He's Bob Jones's grandson. He's been that boots on the ground kid. He's known this kid all my life, and he's just a remarkable young man. And what he has done with the Azuda Foundation to be the boots on the ground has made such a huge difference. So we really appreciate. Oh, did we going to do this now? Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know because it's like 2 minutes till. This is Mayor of the lovely village of Maleso, Mayor Champaco's on the line. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Good.
Listen,
good morning, everyone.
I made a mistake of calling you right before our top of the hour. I hate to put you out. Would you be available in a couple of minutes so I can get through the top of the hour news?
Sure.
Oh,
sure.
Thank you so much for your kindness. We'll call you back just after that. Esta, thank you very much. That's a very nice mood that
Sorry,
he might
I didn't know what time I was supposed to call.
Bruh,
okay.
No.
Yes.
Bruh,
I got you.
Fam, I do this to you all the time.
I'm so sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Don't be
Mayor,
sorry.
I'm
It's not
sorry,
even your fault. That's mine. I'm going to take it because we've got your news. I keep wanting to say CBS, but it's not. They're long gone. It's AP that has been the replacement. We're happy to have them on the air. Dice has got all your traffic, and the Weather Service has got the forecast for the next several days here on Mornings with Patti. We're your KGUM FM and Daddy Do Guam.
AP News. I'm Ed Donahue. The U.S. men's team is looking to change its World Cup narrative tonight in the California Bay Area. Here's the AP Soccer Magani.
The men haven't won a World Cup elimination game in 24 years, and that was the only one. Tonight, they have another shot against Bosnia-Herzegovina. The U.S. took 2 of 3 games to win its group, and now in the knockout stage, Coach Mauricio Pochettino says it must treat tonight like the final. He should have a healthy Christian Pulisic back. He missed the second game with a calf injury and was a sub in the loss to Turkey. I'm Sagar Meghani.
Harry Kane scored 2 second-half goals to help England rally for a 2-1 win over Congo and a spot in the round of 16 at the World Cup. 2 people have gotten to the top of the Empire State Building's antenna and unfurled a banner about the power of love. They have since been arrested. One seemed to set up a piece of electronic equipment and got down on one knee. After the 2 kissed again and hugged, the other person took selfies with an outstretched left hand as if examining a ring. Jonathan Roman from Scotland was watching from the ground below.
I think the engagement looks like it's gone well for them, but I suspect they'll be spending their first night in jail.
The banner in New York read, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace." Officials say children living in deplorable conditions inside a small, dilapidated rural Ohio home were part of the same family. It was an update on a case yesterday. 4 adults were arrested on felony child endangerment charges after finding the children in the home. Multi-day warnings of extreme heat have landed in New York, Boston, and Philadelphia. The sultry weather pushed east just ahead of the weekend 4th of July events. Stocks are mostly lower. Tech stocks are driving down the market. More information at apnews.com. This is AP News. The co-founder of the Village People has died.
At some point, you may have spelled it using your body. Victor Willis co-wrote YMCA and the band's other biggest hits. Appearing on stage dressed as a police officer. They remain dance floor staples. YMCA is still heard at White House events, and President Trump says we will think of Victor every time YMCA is played. The Village People say Willis died at 74 after a short but aggressive illness. I'm Sagar Meghani.
The owner of AOL and other tech businesses hit Wall Street with a $1.7 billion initial public offering. Bending Spoons, priced at 50 million shares at $29 apiece. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
You're listening to Mornings with Patti, where the conversation belongs to everyone.
Half a day, Guam. This is Paul Stanko with your National Weather Service. There could be a slight increase in showers late tonight. Otherwise, mainly isolated showers will prevail through Saturday night. Combined seas will be 3 to 5 feet through Friday night, then they will start to rise. All these rises will be brought by Tropical Storm 09W, which will likely pass between Guam and Saipan. The risk of rip currents is moderate today, but will become high by Sunday. The fire danger is low today, will become moderate Friday, but then become low again Sunday most likely. The latest weather information is always available at www.weather.gov/GUM. Be sure to watch that page as Tropical Storm 09W passes Sunday and Monday.
The road to Adelup is off and running. This time, we sit down with Republican candidate Speaker Frank Blass and Dr. Mary Okada. Catch the full conversation that took place on May 7th on the Wave 105's YouTube channel. Stay informed and hear their vision for Guam's future. Wave 105 is a glimpse of Guam radio station.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. 3 minutes after 7 o'clock in the morning. Let's go ahead and hit the streets right now for your traffic report brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. You could schedule a test drive by calling 478-AUTO or take a look at our inventory on our website if you go to GuamAutospot.com. All right, friends, it looks like traffic is still light this morning, moving nicely around the Micronesia Mall. No delays getting around Upper Tumon this morning, as well as our friends in Lower Tumon. We will have some delay this morning at that ITC intersection. That's going to be in Tamuning, or getting around the Superior Court of Guam. That's going to be in Hagåtña this morning. For our friends in Anigua, Asan, as well as Speedy, it looks like traffic is moving nicely around that southern end, as well as our friends up and around Ipan, Talafofu this morning, getting around Malesu, Malolo this morning. No delays through Inalahan. Let's just continue to watch our speed limit, eyes on the roads, no texting and driving. And remember, Guam, seatbelts are sexy. Let's allow some braking distance between ourselves and the vehicle in front of us. Try not to tailgate each other this morning. It is a Thursday here on the Wave 105 FM. This is your traffic report brought to you by Guam Auto Spy.
Bank Pacific has a $100 gift for all recent high school and college graduates.
Okay, I'll bite. What is it?
Open a checking account with Bank Pacific, show us you just graduated, and bingo! We'll deposit an additional $100 into your account.
What about a Visa debit card?
Yep, Visa debit card, online and mobile banking, remote deposit capture, the works.
What about for existing customers who just graduated?
They got $100 too.
Great, count me in.
Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots. Conditions apply, member FDIC.
Hafaday, Guam! The Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association invites you to the Fair Trade Show, Guam's premier hospitality and food service event. Join us August 19th and 20th at the Hyatt Regency Guam from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Experience hands-on training sessions and exciting culinary competitions featuring professionals, apprentices, and pastry talent. Discover new products, connect with suppliers, and celebrate Guam's hospitality industry. Don't miss Fair 2026. Visit ghra.org for details.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the show hosts, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the staff or management of Wave 105.1 FM, Glimpses Media, or our partners. We strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, and we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105.1 FM. Enjoy the show.
7:07 here on Mornings with Patti. Well, that sounds curiously like Christmas music right there. I don't know what it is. It sounds like Christmas music, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
No. Yeah.
Merry Christmas!
Hey, there
yeah.
you go.
Okay. 2nd of July only. Yeah. 2nd of July, moving in on a number of things that are going to be taking place over the next several weeks. And this is, I was interested yesterday in hearing from, who was it that, good grief, I was talking to somebody, geez, my memory. Anyway, that there had been an offering of a discount that they were giving to people who came to the display or exhibit for Guam at the Great American Fair. And that United representatives, and I'm going to have to double check this if anybody took advantage of it, but that United representatives were offering discounts to come to Guam for liberation. And that is like, I mean, the mass appeal on that really filled up those airplanes for all of the summer 2 years ago. That was a lot. I do want to get to Mayor Champaco, who joins us on the line. Again, my apologies, Mayor, for having called you and then hung up on you.
No,
I appreciate your patience. You're very kind. So give me the status, if you will, on the Tossie Festival this weekend.
Okay, yeah, so it's postponed.
Okay.
It's postponed until we get, after this storm passes, and we'll see what the conditions are on the island, and then we can make that call in the next when we schedule it for.
Oh, okay. Okay. You know what, Dice and I were yesterday, we're talking about it. There's so much work goes into these events, especially festivals. You rely a lot on vendors and, some of the things and foods and items that come out. These are all been planned well in advance. I've never organized huge things like this, so I don't necessarily know what goes into it. But do you guys have I mean, I don't know how would you make up for that sort of excitement later on? And the vendors that are coming, are they still available? Do they still have the same products that you were going to use? All of that.
Well, I mean, of course, right? Safety is the concern here. So yeah, and then we reached out to all the vendors and just apologizing to them for everything. Just, yeah, they did. I know some vendors already had purchased some of their frozen food items already. Yes, there is a lot of work, especially in the Malay Superior where we have to pick up canopies and set up the lights and power. So yeah, there is a lot, and I think these vendors, like I said, we reached out to them, and they're all, they're just as concerned too. So they said, "Good call," and we'll figure it out after.
But, well, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Figuring it out after is.
Well, it's just out of our control. It's nothing, I mean, someone was saying that let's just do Friday, Saturday because the storm's not going to come till Sunday. What is it? Sunday, early Monday morning.
Yeah, something like that.
So I said, but being Fiesta and Tassi, it's a water sports. There's going to be a lot of activities in the water. So for sure, already, even I think maybe by even Saturday, we're going to start to see the water being rough. I mean, that's what we're tracking, right? But so safety was, of course, the priority here.
Yeah, absolutely. Safety is paramount to everything that's happening. Well, when it does happen, what do we look forward to? Let's go with the positive. What are we looking forward to when you guys pick it up again?
Oh, man, just some, trying to bring back a lot of the water sports. We haven't had, people come out yet, come out in the past for that. So they're going to look for a canoe race. There's it's our second annual kids fishing derby. So this fishing derby is the first of its kind. It's out on the boat. It's a boat based. It's not the kids just standing on the lagoon. They get to go out on a boat with the boat captain, and they go out in the lagoon and they fish. And it's mafuti. It's called a mafuti fishing derby. So you can catch any fish, but of course to qualify, you got to bring in a mafuti or the emperor family. Then of course there's a spear fishing derby. There's jet ski race, and then some boat races.
Nice.
Like that.
Yeah, nice. The water, I mean, this time of year, it's hot enough. People like to be near the water. We just certainly got to make it safe. I'm sorry, unfortunately, that you had to, had to or postpone. And Mayor, we're looking very much forward to when it comes back up again. Please let us know.
I will.
And we'll be happy to get on the radio with. Is there anything you want to say about your lovely village before we move along?
Just everybody. Of course, we're coming a storm coming, so we just everybody be safe. Prepare and whatever. Just everyone got my number. Just reach out.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's got your number. I appreciate this, sir. Thank you so much, and have a safe weekend.
You guys be safe too.
Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. About 13 minutes after 7 o'clock. They always do it up big. Down, it is. I know you go down there pretty regularly to go check out the folks and things, right?
Great hospitality. Love them down there.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that you'll agree, Dice, that these southern villages feel like you're in another place.
Oh, for sure.
Right? When you're going down there, it's kind of like you got that feeling like in Saipan.
I love it.
Right, that down south, there's just this feeling, right? These are folks that have been there for generations, lived in the same houses and the same properties, and they've been doing the same.
Hardcore local feel down there. Love that.
Hardcore, that's a way to.
Hardcore locals down there, man.
Is a way to.
Right. To throw in, tomorrow speaking, man.
Talk to me, man.
I love it down there.
Yeah, I love it. I love. You got to make it more than a pass-through village. But I go around the island, and we used to stop at the Maritza Pier to pick up the hot dogs, right? And that was the thing, then we'd move along, and then we'd move into, in Alahan, and, you stop at the Papanisic store. So all of these places have these landmark spots, and it's usually when we were growing up, guys, in the 70s, we would blow gas, and that's where the famous word from all of our parents is, "You're out there gallivanting." You know, we had an oil crisis in 1978 or something like 76, 78, and it was a major oil crisis, and you know, getting gasoline was a treasure. Blowing gasoline was our hobby. We didn't think about that. We were mindless when it came to stuff like that. It was a big deal during that time. And we used to just ride the streets, man, blowing the gas. And my parents were just like, "Get back here! What are you doing?" And there was no way to get a hold of us because once we were out of the house, we were gone. I would stroll with my sister Treese, and we'd go be blowing gas all over the place. And forgot where I was going with it. Oh, and it was just such a simpler sort of time, you know. And when we go around the island, to hit these spots where you could eat. Right now, you see how many more restaurants and little mom and pop stores. These are not little mom and pop stores where you run in to get dish soap. This is like mom and pop stores where you can get a whole meal all day long. Right. You know, you go down and you measure who's got the best empanada. A lot of them source it from the same people, but you know, go around the island. And I wanted to do that with Riley one day. I said, hey, it was a Saturday. I was like, "Hey, you want to go around the island? Just check it out." And he's like, "No, I'm good." He lives, when you get a kid who lives in the States, going around the island to us is going around the island. It's a short trip. When you say going around the island to somebody who lives in the States, it sounds like a road trip, which means I'm in a car for hours. And I had to assure him that going around the island meant, and I'm not saying that he wouldn't have remembered this, but there's a lot of really cool stops and a lot of really cool things to see. I'll get him to do it. But in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead. Are we here yet at this point? Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and kind of pick the mind of our governor. I do want to talk to her a little bit about, we've undergone some challenges this year with Sunlaku. It grazed us by comparison to what happened in the CNMI, but we're still all sort of suffering and reeling. And on top of that, there's a lot going on. Typhoon preparation is almost like an exercise in what to do. That's basically the mantra is y'all know what to do, but it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt to hear, obviously, from the governor about typhoon preparedness and thanks, Dice, and the assurances that the government stands by and ready for assistance. Good morning, Governor.
Hi, Patty.
Hi. How are you?
I am good. Always ready, always prepared.
I was saying that sometimes the mantra when these storms happen is, you know what to do. I mean, if we could just say that, it would be great. But every scenario is different. When you look at what do you know about this one as far as its strength and the potential? What are you being advised?
Well, I was talking to Landon since Tuesday, actually, and as you we'll see in history, it was tracking northwest, past Saipan and on onto the ocean, right? Mm-hmm. But there's a high depression it's a ridge right over near Japan and westward, and that's what's pushing this movement down south. And so now it's pushed it down to closer to Tinian and Saipan. Mm. The high pressure is still there, and so I don't know how far south it would continue. But right now, as you heard through Landon, that it is continuing at what all the models are tracking, right, which is south on its track. And so it's now we can look at the intensity of the winds, and it's now, of course, been upgraded to tropical storm. We are going to have another high-level briefing at 10:30 to include, of course, the Admiral and CNMI. And, Patty, I think we all just have to accept that this is a storm that is going to pass over us. And hopefully it's not going to be as severe as Typhoon Sinlaco, but just be prepared. And that's the best we can do to protect our families and our island is be informed, be prepared. Put up your shutters. You can't be over prepared. Some people say, "Oh, it's only 40 miles per hour. I'm not putting up my shutters." But hey, it's always best to be safe. So I encourage the people to, again, protect your very important belongings and documents. Secure all things that may fly around your house. Bring in your patio furniture. We know what to do.
Yeah,
and,
we know what to. Yeah,
it's unfortunate that it's only been. I was just looking. It's only been less than 3 months. I think April, May, June. Less than 4 months. July 23rd would. No, actually, it's 4 months. Yeah. It'll be 4 months. So 3 months and 3 weeks, but it'll be about 4 months since our last typhoon. GPA, GW, they're all out there preparing, making sure generators are working at the pump sites. GPA has been since the beginning of the week, and they always do this. Have gone around and cut back vegetation and trees that may potentially bring down lines. And the more we're prepared that way, I think the quicker we would be recovered.
Yeah. So we have GPA is already out there doing their assessments, and in 4 months a lot can regrow. That's for sure. Okay. So that's kind of what the weekend is going to look like. But before then, if this is going to, we're going to start to see the inclement weather by Sunday night. What is the weekend? We've got July 4th is coming up.
Yeah, I think everything is being canceled over the weekend. The Malesu Fiesta has been canceled. They have put out a flyer canceling the Melissa festivities. We didn't really have a big 4th of July event, but I know Anderson Air Force Base was having a big 4th of July thing. I don't know if they are going to be canceling that. We'll know when we meet with the Admiral this morning. And so it's best to, reschedule, cancel parties and so forth. I guess if you're having a wedding on Saturday indoor, I guess that would be okay. Because the way it's looking now, it's probably going to be coming in Sunday, but we'll start feeling the winds as we know we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Use common sense, use logic, with the end goal of protecting property and life.
Yeah, again, I feel like we've gone through this exercise, and it does get to a point where people start to forget. And don't listen anymore, right? It's just okay. Just give me the maximum sustained wind power, and then I could figure it all out.
It's like when you're flying, right? And they're going through the safety precautions and saying, we know you've been flying a lot, but just listen because, right?
Yeah.
And I do, believe me, I do.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to, constantly, and it's been only 4 months, so the memory is still kind of, fresh, and maybe some people are.
And you know Mother Nature, Patty. We didn't feel the very strong winds that Saipan did, but hey, the west coast of our island was certainly very much devastated. So for me, like I said, it's better to be safe, and you cannot be overprotective. about it. You cannot be over-prepared about it. You need to take each of these natural disasters very seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. On another front, I wasn't around for the groundbreaking of the hospital, so congratulations on that. Do you feel like that sort of silences all of these challenges, or does it still feel
no?
A little
I don't
bit?
I don't think anything I do silences the challenges, because the challenges will be about a different thing, right? But be that as it may, I have been very focused and very clear in the direction and the vision that I would like to have. I have for the people of Guam in terms of healthcare, and this site dedication is a strong beginning of the work that we are going to do to build a hospital in Manila. And you know, Patty, when you go out there and you talk to people, there are more people that are supportive of this hospital in Manila than what the opponents are saying, because they see the benefits of it, being in the center of the island, closer to the south, you know, closer to the north, and bypassing traffic coming down on Marine Drive to the hospital from the north, because you could go through the back road and on down to Route 15, which is, you know, yes, there is cars that travel through there, but one of the other things in part of this construction is to also widen Route 15, because it is the back road to Anderson, and I think it's part of the DAR plans to widen that. So there's just so many pieces aligned with the building, aligned in a good way with the building of this hospital. And we will continue to lay down the infrastructure and will benefit the residents there. It's unfortunate, again, that we did not use the $104 million to do that. And now, but it has to be done. So, regardless whether we use $104 million, which is free money and doesn't impact the ratepayers, and now we would have to use our own revenues or go through the bond debt again to provide for the laying down of the power at the substation there, and undergrounding it on the way over, and also GWA is already on the property assessing how many wells they can put down, which would again provide more water access, quicker access after typhoons. So there's just a big win-win, and that's why I'm very persistent about it, because I know that this is good for the people of Guam. So, we got over the hurdle of the property. I am still working with the military to get parts of Eagles Field, about maybe 48 acres. And Admiral Paparo was just here the other night, and he is also.
Now that's who that was. I tell you what, everybody up and down Marine Corps Drive, and you were watching the Guam Police Department position themselves throughout a route, and we're like, who is? So who came?
Well, you know who they are. It's Admiral Paparo, who is the head of Indo-PACOM here, and the Undersecretary of the Army, who is the second in command in the Army, just right below the Secretary of the Army. That's who was there, and then there was I think an admiral there too that is with the Joint Chiefs of Staff. There was a titled officer also that was the head of special ops throughout the Pacific. So there were some very key high official military that are
That's
here
what it was.
assessing assessing the real estate, assessing their assets, assessing the preparedness, and Admiral Paparo was very commending of the preparedness that's been happening. He's very, very appreciative and very, very comment positive about our relationship and our partnership. And of course, he's committed again in protecting the environment, the culture, and the people of Guam. Yeah.
And you guys met. I mean, did you guys have a powwow, or is it just a reception kind of thing? Not any long hard talks or anything?
Yeah,
like
no.
that?
Really, it's in those sessions. It's in those events, right? That things are also informed and communicated. So, the Undersecretary of the Army is one of the guys that make decisions on a high-level council relating to Guam, relating into the defense of Guam. And I talked to him about the hospital. I talked to him about underground, the utilities. He's very, very, very supportive. And he came out here because he wanted to get a feel of Guam, the people, and what is happening here, and how things are here progressing. Because in making these decisions, he wanted to make sure that he at least had some understanding and some engagement into the island. Yeah.
Okay. Well, is there, Governor, the final thoughts before we move along? Is there anything you want to address?
No, I just want to say happy independence to all of us, celebrating 250 years of independence. And let's celebrate it in our homes with our family and reflect on our blessings in an island that's beautiful, peaceful, and with people that are very loving and kind to each other and respectful. And I ask the people out there, as you prepare, to please be mindful of your neighbors, be mindful of the people next to you, be very kind and respectful, and we can do this and protect ourselves in a very easy, smooth way. So be safe out there. You will be hearing from us along the way in terms of the progression of this storm.
And we'll be eager to hear about the change in the condition of readiness. That's always a good indicator for people to how fast they have to really start moving.
Right. and it's actually good that tomorrow's a holiday, right?
Yeah.
So, it's good and bad. But anyway, it is what we are experiencing now, and let's do this.
Okay.
Let's do this very with a lot of good information.
I appreciate this, Governor. Have a wonderful weekend. To be safe, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, Governor.
Thanks, Patti.
You're absolutely welcome, Governor Lou Leon Gross. 7:31 now. Break here. We'll be right back.
He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
All righty, Guam, Holiday, everyone. Let's go ahead and hit the streets right now. It's about 31 minutes after 7 o'clock on a Thursday morning here on the Wave 105 FM. This is Mornings with Patti with your third look at your traffic report. It's being brought to you by Guam Auto Spot. Schedule a test drive by calling 478-AUTO, or if you'd like to look at our inventory, you may also visit our website if you go to guamautospot.com. We're going to hit Route 10 this morning, as we do have traffic developing around Sung Market this morning, coming around Payless in Mangilaw, hitting that tri-intersection in Barrigada. We got some north as well as southbound around Crown Bakery 76, Circle K, and the Barrigada Fire Station. Mongmong Totu Mighty traffic is moving nicely. It's building up in Hagåtña this morning. That's going to be around the Agana Shopping Center, getting around the Superior Court of Guam. Some north and southbound there. East and West O'Brien Drive is nice and clear. It looks like Tamuning traffic is still light this morning, coming around Tejan. That's going to be done with ease, as well as our friends coming around Harmon Industrial. We got some north and southbound there, as well as the Micronesia Mall. Let's keep our eyes on the roads, not on the phones. No texting and driving on the streets of Guam. Ensure that your seatbelts are fastened. And remember, Guam, seatbelts are sexy. This is your traffic report right here on the Wave 105 FM. And it's all being brought to you by our friends at Guam Auto Spot.
The road to Adelup is here, and this time we spoke with Democrat candidates, Senator Torius Terlahi and Senator Sabina Perez. Here is your opportunity to hear how they plan to govern Guam. Watch the conversation on Wave 105's YouTube channel, dated May 28th. This is a Glimpses of Guam radio station.
Every 16 seconds, an American receives a cancer diagnosis, and every minute of every day, another person loses their life to cancer. That's why Stand Up to Cancer has set a bold goal to make early stage detection an essential part of standard of care for all cancers. So often, if cancer is detected early, the chance of long-term survival is 90%. So if we all support cancer research, more than 2 million lives can be saved in the next decade. So join the mission and help save lives today at standuptocancer.org.
Wave 105, the talk of Guam, a Glimpses of Guam radio station.
Doobie Brothers wannabe. I'm not mad at that. 7:35 in the morning. Here we go on a Friday. Oh, I'm sorry. Wow. It's a Thursday morning ahead of a Friday weekend, and a bittersweet one because a lot of the events that you might have wanted to go to, I think the fireworks displays and stuff might be an iffy situation. And then, of course, you know what? Fireworks in Guam, people throw caution to the wind. They don't really care. It's like, oh, they legalized it, and the next thing you know, it's like, what rules, what regulations? Let's just blow up our neighborhood. So you're going to get a lot of that. It's celebratory sort of popping off of the stuff. I have...
Jordan Pauloon.
Yes, I have been in receipt of a couple of things that in the past 24 hours that I kind of wanted to share with Jordan Pauloon, who filed a complaint to the Election Commission on I guess the many photos of Doug Moylan appearing at Republican-linked events, which is a huge no-no when you're running for an office that's supposed to be apolitical. It means to say that Jordan Pauloon is also running for that same office. He joins us on the line this morning. Hey, Jordan, good morning.
Good morning, Patty. How are you?
I'm fine. Now, tell me the difference between attending a town hall meeting, or not maybe a town hall, but like a rally that is affiliated with a particular party when you are running for an office. Because I've also seen photos of you at particular events that were centric to the Republican Party. Do you go to both party events or what?
Yes. So I a little bit of background on it. The Attorney General's office is a nonpartisan race. I personally go to events for both parties in all camps. I made a decision a long time ago that the Attorney General's office is too important of an office to work for one person or one party, and so I want to support everybody that's running for office to the maximum extent that I can, because we need to build good relationships for that office. Okay. The substance of the complaint that I had filed with the Guam Election Commission is actually not about an individual's attendance at a particular rally for a candidate in one political party in Guam or not. It's actually about the appearance on a partisan attorney general webpage, which is a voluntary membership organization. The information attached to the complaint places the current attorney general on the Republican Attorney General Association's webpage, identifying him not just as associating with Republican or conservative values, but as an actual Republican attorney general from Guam.
Okay. All right. So, and that is a huge difference, an actual identifier and an actual relationship you have with the party as you've declared such. So him showing up at a Republican fundraiser or a Republican event is not necessarily him saying I'm a Republican. It's just that he's already identified himself as such professionally.
Yes, and especially not solely even identifying as a particular member of a political party, whether it's Republican or Democrat, right? It's actually identifying yourself as a Republican Attorney General when that office is specifically required to maintain a nonpartisan status. The law actually specifically prohibits candidates from declaring any political party affiliation.
Okay. So, I also received a photo yesterday from someone who had, it was a sort of a group shot of a number of employees with the OAG label on their lapels at a particular political function. There's nothing wrong with that necessarily, as you're saying. It's not about him attending because you've attended. And there's really also nothing wrong, or is there, with people who are representing themselves as staff of the Attorney General?
So when it comes to the actual candidates or individuals running for an office, there's a lot of flexibility into them because the voters deserve to hear from everybody and have an opportunity to interact with the individuals running for office, including me and everybody else. As far as the employees, I'm going to have to study that a little bit more. But when it does come to employees or other individuals supporting, candidates do need to be careful because if somebody is working for the government does have a mini Hatch Act that prohibits certain types of political activity when it looks like it's being endorsed by the government or government employees. And so I don't want to necessarily prejudge it without seeing all of the things that you've looked at, but there is a difference between the candidates themselves going to these things and maybe bringing along other people with them that may have other restrictions associated with their employment. But that's something that actually warrants some fairness to those employees and to actually rigorously determine what happens there.
Okay. You also filed the complaint with the commission, and you have heard back from them of a response to your complaint seeking to disqualify him?
I received a letter from Maria Pangilinan, the executive director of the Election Commission, yesterday, confirming receipt of my of the complaint that I filed. And the complaint at the end of the day just asks to hold people accountable for following the rules, which is what the Election Commission is. That's what their job is, to ensure compliance with the election rules. The letter confirmed receipt and outlined a couple steps that may be taken as this goes forward with the Election Commission, including providing the individuals involved notice and an opportunity to be heard before the commission, which is perfectly in line with the law that actually governs decisions made before agencies like this. Guam has a law called the Administrative Adjudication Law. So when somebody files a complaint on any topic at any agency, the agency has a law that they can follow to outline this procedure. So in filing my complaint, I fully expect the commission to treat everybody fairly and give people a notice and opportunity to be heard, which is what the law requires. Because after all, the Attorney General's office is supposed to enforce the rule of law, and so we should be looking forward to the Election Commission also following that and following the Administrative Adjudication Law and treating everybody fairly through the process of making this determination. While I'm confident in the merits of the thing, everybody is entitled to an opportunity to be heard on the issue.
So there is still the decision, because I think it's saying that the commission doesn't consider the filing alone to require immediate disqualification. Rather, like you said, they'll contact him and let him know that there was a complaint, have an opportunity for him to defend himself, and if any GEC filing or voter registration record improperly lists a political party affiliation, they may allow him to amend or correct the record before deciding whether further action is necessary. Any further action, is that still pending? Are they saying, they're not ruling on the merits of the complaint? They're acknowledging that it's been received, but they're still going to follow up to review the process before making any determination, which could be what?
How I view this letter is every agency that receives a complaint, the administrative staff, of which Maria Pangilinan is the executive director, is responsible for receiving it and then processing the investigation and compiling the information. Ultimately, whatever the outcome is and the vote on it is left to the commissioners, the 7 members that have been appointed to that commission and by the governor and confirmed by the legislature are the ones that actually hold the power to decide that. And so that would have to be done at a regularly noticed and scheduled meeting here in the future. And ultimately, whatever decision comes out of the Election Commission can even be challenged further in the courts on judicial review. This is a basic process that applies to all administrative proceedings.
But disqualification is not out of the question.
I don't believe it is out of the question. This is just a first step of many. Given the timing, the commission has not actually been able to place this on any agenda or hear it at a meeting yet. I think their next meeting will be in July. And so I do think we're going to hear more about this over the next several weeks and months.
Okay. Because we still have the primary that is taking place in August, as you understand it. Are they recognizing that the dates of this have to be taken into consideration by meeting in July and possibly having a determination by that time?
I don't know the full extent of it. I will probably need to seek some clarification as to how the GEC intends to proceed a little bit further, but I intend on following the rule of law, and I will, go back and review the next steps that exist under the administrative adjudication law and respond and communicate appropriately in that manner. Because at the end of the day, what this is really about is just ensuring that every candidate follows the rules. We want the Attorney General's office knowing, understanding, and following the law, and that's really the essence of this, which is about accountability for that.
Okay. Is there anything else I need to add except for don't campaign right now in this conversation? Is there anything I need to add?
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying to just give the basics of it. The only other thing is I heard you talking about the 4th of July weekend, and I think it's a really important thing to celebrate the freedoms and to thank everybody that's given us those freedoms. I actually have a special place in my heart for the 4th of July because my daughter's birthday is actually on the 4th of July. So no matter the weather, it's always going to be a celebration in our household.
How old is your daughter?
She is turning 12 this year.
Oh, my God. My mother was also born on the 4th of July. It's a great day.
Yes, and I'm also a July baby, and my wife also just had her birthday this past week, so we just have a onslaught of birthdays that we get to celebrate for several weeks.
Okay, when's your birthday? July what?
My birthday's on July 12th.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I knew there was something about you Leos that I was keeping in mind.
I'm a Cancer.
Oh, you're a Cancer. That's right. Yeah, you missed the mark. It's so much more fun being a Leo. Anyway, hey, Jordan, good to talk to you. We'll be keeping up, certainly with that meeting that is scheduled for July, and in between time, good luck on your campaign. Thank
you.
It's you got just about a month, less than a month now to be able to get it all in. So good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on, Patty.
It's
and
my
I do
pleasure.
just want to encourage all of your listeners to get to know each and every candidate, because when it comes time to vote, both in August and November, it's really important that we make informed decisions.
I appreciate this. Thank you very much. Take good care, Jordan.
Thank you so much, Patty. Have a great morning.
Happy birthday to your daughter, and happy Independence Day. I went to the commissary yesterday to bring somebody up there who had to buy some things.
Right on.
Don't try to find any hamburger buns. I mean, hot dog buns.
Hot dog buns
Yeah.
on the base, out of stock. Okay.
Yeah, but they had plenty of hot dogs.
Hot dog, okay.
They had plenty of hot
Just
dogs.
the buns.
Just the buns were short.
Okay,
I mean, hey, you could use any bun, but So I was talking to Tia the other day, and she's like, I said, "What are you guys doing for July 4th?" I mean, you're in Nevada. You know what I mean? It's a big celebration in the States. Not so much over here because we spend our time concentrating a lot on July 21st, but we don't let the day go by. I certainly don't, because again, it's also the day that my mother was born. So I said, "What are you going to do?" She goes, "Oh, we're just doing hamburgers and hot dogs. I mean, what are we going to do? It's July 4th. This is America. That's what we're going to eat." I said, "Okay, July hot dogs, hamburger." So I took her advice and also stocked up on hamburgers and hot dogs and fixins and French fries and what else goes with it? Chili?
Yes,
no.
you could.
I'm doing baked beans.
Okay. That sounds good.
What else do I need?
I think you're set.
You think that's it? That's not enough food. This is a Guamanian table serving American Independence Day cuisine. It's got to be bigger.
Okay.
I
we're
mean,
gonna go bigger.
I've always like really thought that those red, white, and blue cakes with the strawberries and the blueberries is a thing. That was pretty cool.
creative.
Maybe I'll try to do that.
That's creative.
Because I actually have strawberries and blueberries. Maybe I'll just
strawberry
make a small
shortcake.
flight. But then I have to do all 50 states and territories when I do
Oh,
that.
that's a good one. That's a good one.
I don't think I can afford the blueberries.
That's gonna be an expensive
That's too.
potluck.
Yeah, the color blue is really expensive these
That's an
days.
expensive barbecue.
It could be an expensive barbecue for literally 5 people.
barbecue.
Yeah, but knowing me, I'll make too much, which is, all the more for.
You know what? That's okay too. That
For the
is-
table.
Get that grub in there. Slap it on the grill.
Tell me about
Take
it.
advantage of it. But there's no buns at the base. That's
Yeah.
where we're going. Naval base is out of buns, guys.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we're out of buns.
I'm gonna.
No buns. Okay, gotcha.
Well, I know that they have them. Wait, hang on. I'm just going to tell him to call in. I'm not just saying that. It's just on base. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be. And yesterday, everybody and their mothers were up there because not only it was like a lot of veterans and people getting paid. Maybe that's like the whole Social Security
That could be
thing.
it. That could be it.
That was also the day for SNAP benefits was a day. Who else was there? Oh, military. Hello, active duty. A lot of. I forget about them. It's actually their commissary. We're just guests.
I was like,
I think they were outnumbered,
one
however.
people.
They were definitely outnumbered because we all knew each other in there.
sure, for
You know,
sure,
there's not a day that goes by. There isn't a time that I've gone up to. Again, this is not my benefit. I am merely an assistant to somebody who has benefits. So I don't go in there. I know what I'm shopping for that person, but I do not. I'm a regular shopper, but I can't help it. There's so many people that are in there. Many of them are retirees.
Okay.
At Manumku, right? Retirees, veterans that go up to the commissary. They like to do that around 10 o'clock in the morning. After I get off. So it's always, there's a lot of conversation. There was one lady who I met her in the drinks section. And she told me to say hi to you. Oh no, I met her in the tinfoil section.
Love that tinfoil.
Yeah, tinfoil.
Good morning,
and then,
Hoffity.
yeah, she just said something like I thought I was in her way, and she thought she was in my way, and we were like exchanging apologies. And then she said, "Go ahead, Patti." I said, "Oh, okay." And she said, "I listen to you every morning, and I love dice." I'm like, that always comes. I listen to you every morning, and I love dice. So, usually I'll even ask for their name, but it just seemed like a moment where everybody was kind of rushing, and I didn't catch her name. But
Glad you guys are
she knows who she is because she was in front of the tinfoil area. So yesterday, good, and I told her happy weekend, have a wonderful weekend, and everybody stay safe. Unfortunately, the weekend will be without one of the big memorial events that we plan on. We just had Willie Flores on yesterday. Good morning, Willie. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning. Disappointed, but
Yeah.
safety for Amanamco is our first priority
Sure.
with planning these events. So, unfortunately, looking forward to what the track that's being taken by this storm. We just thought it would be more prudent for us to postpone the event.
Okay. Well,
So,
absolutely. We sort of expected that was going to happen, although the event was to take place on what day? Was it Sunday or tomorrow?
Sunday. It was Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday,
and too close for the stress level, right? Because yeah. It's
Well,
gonna-
I'm telling you, a couple of the Manamcos called and said, no, let's still have it. We said, no, that's it. Not yet.
Well,
It's just,
when you're a survivor of the Menengun March, like nothing seems insurmountable. It's like, what weather? We're good. I marched.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. And you've talked to some of these old folks, and they look fragile, but man, they're pretty tough.
Oh, I bet. Well, you've had a few of them attempting to make that walk right into the venue. Well,
Yes.
so if we we're not canceling, right? We're just postponed, and you're going to figure out another date that will accommodate them, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
We will. It's too important for us not to do it, so we will. We'll certainly let everyone know way ahead of time.
Okay.
And thank you for giving us the opportunity to get the word out.
Of
Appreciate
course,
it.
Willie. You know
Yeah.
that, but we know
Yeah.
we're huge supporters anytime.
Yes, appreciate it.
All right. Well, you guys stay safe and stay safe and and
Well,
and
I want to say something too, Patty.
Yeah.
I've always admired you on the station, but I've recently also kind of gotten a little place in my heart for Dice ever since she started saying E Seng Sung instead of Y Seng Sung.
Oh yeah, that's our girl, man. She's local. She's local as they come.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, E Sang Sung.
Yeah.
There's still people who say Y Sang Sung.
I know. Yeah.
Oh.
Biba Guam.
Well, well, thank you again for the opportunity. And you folks stay safe.
We will.
We'll
You as well.
let you know what our next plans are.
Okay, we're right here when it happens. All right, Willie, take good care.
Okay.
Senator,
Thank you.
former Senator Willie Flores, who heads up that he's saying so. There's a few other words that are in there that I'm not quite sure of. I used to say why sang song because everybody else did, and I moved here. When people were calling it that, and so I called it until I was avidly corrected by folks who live in the area, and it was almost like I've insulted them. So I want to avoid the occasion of insulting somebody, right? So there's that one, and then there is somebody said I used to on the news I would read Finnegayan. Somebody wrote Finnegodzon. What does Finnegodzon mean if it's a Chamorro word?
I don't know.
Is it just
saying that too?
I know.
I grew up
but
saying it too.
I always thought it was Finnegayan because I don't know, was it the name of some captain Finnegayan from that area and they named it like Nimitz Hill, you know?
But it got that. Yeah. Well, as long as Tamuning's not Tamunang, you know.
It's Tumonang and it's what was the Tumon one? What was
I don't know what it was.
Tum Home or something like that?
It was something.
It was like, bro, we're never going to say it. Bro, we're never going to say it.
I don't think I'll get that down.
I'm still trying to go with Hagatnya. I mean, it's starting to roll off my tongue. I've been an Aganya girl.
Sounds strong.
Aganya sounds so
it does.
God,
I mean, it's
white bread.
fierce.
It's like Aganya. Hi, I'm from Aganya.
Hey, dude.
But Hagatnya, if you spell it out like that, Hagatnya. And Hogget is another one.
Oh, don't play with Hogget.
Don't Hogget. Don't do that,
Hogget.
Hogget. Don't do that to Hogget. So Hogget's another one. In Alahan.
Yes.
Humatak.
Ungan. Yes, got
so
to.
You don't want to slaughter these names. You
Don't
just
do
have.
it.
It feels funny because we grew up using these.
There's a lot of history there.
The Aganya Cathedral Basilica. They don't call it the Hagatnya Cathedral Basilica.
Okay.
They call it the Aganya Cathedral Basilica. So they're interchangeable. Although formally we should be addressing and respecting that they have now since been changed because they had an entire Chamorro language commission that took a lot of heat every time they try to change something. You know who stood up and said absolutely, oh hell no, you're not touching our village?
Who?
Aganya Heights.
Aganya Heights.
The late Mayor Paul McDonald.
You can't say Hagatnya Heights.
Exactly. And he
don't
said
sound right. I can
it
say
doesn't.
that don't sound right. It's like Hagatnya Heights.
And they were going to name it something, a Pugan or something, or
what?
Tatuhan, or what were they going to call it? No, not Tatuhan. Huh?
Yeah, they're already. We already have that.
No, but the entire village. It was going to be known. They were going to rename it completely.
Oh.
But the folks up there were like, "No, you're not." You know. And the thing about it is that you can. Most people will go in deference to the commission or in deference to the preservation of language and the emotional factor that pretty much dictates how we're all supposed to feel and think about it. Say whatever you're going to say, and then in public refer to it the way it's supposed to. I will say Hagatnya because I don't want to insult anybody, and I'm trying to be respectful of the fact that there is a name change. I still call it Aganya. I don't mean any viciousness or maliciousness by doing it. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but it's like when they named my roadway. It's like, oh, it's the street that goes up next to that clinic. Everybody knew where it was. Now it's like I'm on, Metgun Street, and they're like, what's that? Where is that? I'm still going to have to tell you where the nearest bus stop is for you to find the house. But you know what I do like?
What's that?
I'm into that Google Maps situation.
Okay.
I'm not mad at it. I never used to use it before.
Okay.
Especially in Guam. You're
it's
like
in Chamorro.
Shut up.
Yeah. You got
Where?
The Hagåtña's in Chamorro. Yeah, the Google.
No,
Maps.
I mean the language, like turn left, turn right, is in Chamorro.
Oh, that part.
Oh,
No,
you're
no,
just
no,
talking
we're not
about.
there yet. Yeah, we're not there. Almost not yet.
I want to
Almost-
hear the.
That would be cool.
I want to hear the white guy that's doing my Google. My Google. I want to hear him say Hagåtña and Haget and Humatak and Tumeneng.
They should practice it. They should start practicing.
We got to be politically correct.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. Okay. So, just got the latest from the National Weather Service, and Governor said it just a few minutes ago that 09W is now a tropical storm.
Correct.
Rapid intensification is anticipated as it approaches the Mariana Islands, and he's giving me a number thing. A second, I need the text. I'm going to look for the actual text because he sends a lot of graphics, and so I'm looking for the actual text, more graphics. Okay, that's the warning. Sorry, guys, give me a second because I'm just opening this up and I'm looking beyond. I have to go through everything to get to the actual text of it. Well, I'll find it. There is the latest. Maybe hang on a second. Maybe hang on.
Seventh file.
Do you have it?
It'll be the seventh file. All right,
Oh.
scroll all the way down to the seventh file. That's okay.
Just got out.
Yeah, that's okay. It'll be the seventh file. Just to save you from opening all the graphics and all the color. He does. He attached every file there.
We'll go
He
to the
did.
seventh file then.
The seventh file. Yeah, it's going to be in the
Can you
seventh
go to it? Because I just lost it.
I'm on the seventh file.
Can you read it?
Numerical forecast models and current forecast tracks all continue to indicate a grim outlook for the Marianas. All residents across Guam and the CNMI should plan for anticipate at least tropical storm conditions. However, islands closest to the passage or those potentially with a direct hit would not or would most likely see much stronger conditions. Now, this is where the uncertainty remains. With the current track of 09W shifting further to the south or to the north, these shifts remain likely in the coming days as 09W nears. Therefore, take steps to prepare now for the protection of life and property, and stay tuned. Keep up to date on all weather forecasts and conditions from, of course, the website nwsweather.gov/GUM and from the CNMI and the Guam Homeland Security offices.
Okay.
That's what we got. Yeah, so we got bad weather still coming close.
Look at you.
It is kind of intense.
This is as of 7 o'clock in the morning, which was about an hour ago, which we've actually expected. Heavy weather briefing coming up at 10:30. That'll be including the military and representatives from our neighboring islands. That will take place at the governor's office, and you will be sure. Yeah, and so you will be sure definitely to hear all about it on the radio sometime this morning. Dice is live. Oh no, I'm sorry. Spell is live at 10:30, and so. You could switch over to Power 98 and be able to get the latest from him. And then, of course, Dice will lead you all throughout the rest of the day as we are going to be in full preparedness mode, it feels like this afternoon.
Ryobis to go. Ryobis to go.
I say bring your own nails.
Bring your nails.
Yeah. All right, 8 o'clock in the morning now, KGUM-FM in Dedido, Guam.
AP News, I'm Ed Donahue. 2 people were arrested after hanging a banner about the power of love on the Empire State Building antenna in New York, 102 stories high. This woman works in the Empire State Building.
I was thinking, how did they get through security? I mean, if you've ever been up to the observatory, it's really intense security. You go through metal detectors, all sorts of things.
The 2 descended, embraced, and then took selfies before ultimately being arrested. One person on the ground said it looked like one got on a knee and proposed at high altitude. It's a big weekend ahead in New York City. One expected star-studded event remains under wraps, the wedding of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. NYPD won't say anything, but Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch was asked about previous terror threats at Taylor Swift concerts in Europe.
Our Intelligence and Counterterrorism Division does assessments of events that happen across the city, and certainly all major events that happen across the city. So we will make sure that we have the appropriate resources based on their threat assessment for that specific private event, as we do for all major events that are occurring across the city.
President Trump is in North Dakota at the new Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library.
So it's been really very inspiring. They've done a fantastic job with the museum.
Are you getting ideas for your own library, sir?
I'm getting some ideas.
The president made the trip aboard his new Air Force One, a Boeing 747 given to the U.S. by Qatar. A federal filing shows President Trump took in nearly $1.2 billion from his crypto business last year, locking in profits while investors were socked with losses. The North American Trade Pact that President Trump negotiated and boasted about in his first term is up for renewal. It's a process that is likely to last months and maybe even longer. This is AP News. Lethal Weapons' Danny Glover has revealed he has Alzheimer's disease.
The four-time Emmy Award nominee, who turns 80 on July 22nd, told Today and People magazine that he was diagnosed with a progressive memory-destroying disease 3 years ago. In 2002, reporters asked Glover what's been the biggest dream of his life.
I had a dream of being a father with a great daughter. And I achieved it. You know, that's the biggest dream that I've ever had.
Alzheimer's affects more than 6 million people in the U.S. and millions more worldwide. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Martial arts icon Bruce Lee, who was born in San Francisco, will become the first Chinese American in California history with an annual namesake day. Governor Gavin Newsom signed a law officially designating May 17th Bruce Lee Day. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. A ship ran aground in the Strait of Hormuz today on a route not approved by Iran. Charles de la Desma has details.
The Iranian state TV report appeared aimed at underlining Tehran's claims to control the Strait of Hormuz, which the world has long considered an international waterway. It saw a fifth of all oil and natural gas pass through it in peacetime. Iran has used its ability to choke off the waterway as a key source of leverage since the war began, disrupting global markets for energy and other critical goods. Talks are ongoing in Qatar to end the Iran war, with the US and Iranian negotiators present. I'm Charles de la Desma.
Oil prices eased today on hopes the U.S. and Iran do find an end to their war and fully reopen the strait. Brent crude dropped below $72 per barrel. AAA puts the nationwide average for a gallon of gas below $3.85. On Wall Street, while most stocks rose, drops for tech companies pulled the market lower. The S&P fell 0.2%, the Nasdaq 0.7%, while the Dow shed just 14 points. Meanwhile, Sarkar Magani reports,
President Trump says there's a simple reason for his growing fortune. Financial disclosures show the president made roughly $1.2 billion off his cryptocurrency ventures last year.
Well, you know why I'm profiting? Because the stock market's going up.
And tells reporters he does not direct his own investments. Fund managers do.
I don't talk to him. I don't even speak to him.
He repeatedly said market gains are helping the country as a whole.
We're all profiting. I'm profiting because I have a lot of money and a lot of cash.
But even his own Treasury chief has said about 38% of Americans don't have stock market exposure. Sagar Magani, Washington.
And at the World Cup, Harry Kane sent England onward with both goals and a 2-1 win against Congo. This is AP News. Donna Warder has the latest primary results.
In Colorado's Democratic primary for the U.S. House, it was a stunning defeat Tuesday for 30-year incumbent Diana DeGette, losing to a 29-year-old former lawyer and Democratic socialist in the 1st Congressional District.
I'm Maylak Quiros, and tonight, this victory belongs to every single one of you. We will not wait to take the fight to Donald Trump and the oligarchy. We will not wait!
Audio courtesy of KMGH. In other races, U.S. Senator John Hickenlooper fended off State Senator and Progressive Julie Gonzalez. And in the race for Colorado governor, State Attorney General Phil Weiser won the Democratic primary and is favored to win in November. I'm Donna Warder.
There's more news at apnews.com.
As parents, we have a million things running through our minds. Playdates, checkups, groceries, laundry, diapers, work, carpool schedules, picture day, swim team, did we mention diapers, birthday parties, meal prep, lost permission slips, dentist appointments, and the dog that still needs to be walked. So it's easy to make a mistake. Oh, I forgot birthday candles. Sit tight, hon, I'll be right back. We say we'd never put our kids in danger by leaving them in the car alone. Oh, wait, since when are candles not on the baking aisle? But never happens. And temperatures as low as 60 degrees can be deadly for children left behind. So always bring them with you, and every time you park the car, stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We're pouring a glass of a bold, licorice-flavored liqueur that once served as a vital survival asset on the high seas. Welcome to the National Day Spotlight for July 2nd.
In the 1700s, Caribbean pirates plundered sweet, licorice-flavored anisette and traded those heavy wooden barrels like cold, hard cash. But those rough, cutthroat sailors didn't actually crave a fancy European nightcap. They just needed to survive. On grueling, months-long ocean voyages, fresh drinking water quickly stagnated into a foul, bacteria-ridden sludge. To stay alive in the heat, pirates discovered that pouring a heavy splash of strong anise spirits directly into their putrid water rations killed the germs and completely masked the horrific taste. So as we observe National Anisette Day, we look back on a unique twist of maritime history. It turns out that what high society considered a delicate luxury, pirates considered the ultimate survival tool.
So I'm thinking I might have had just the anisette. I'd have skipped the water part.
I'm sure if you're thirsty enough.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Here, drink this and you will die, or don't drink it and you will die.
We are also celebrating National Fried Clam Day and World UFO Day. I'm Alice Anderson.
And I'm Marlo Anderson with National Day Calendar, reminding you to celebrate every day.
If you're looking for world-class website hosting at a fair price, Pair Networks is your best choice. Whether you're a professional web designer or a beginner just getting your site online, Pair Networks has a web hosting plan that's right for you. Log on and learn more at pair.com. That's PAIR.com. Pair Networks, world-class web hosting at a fair price. Visit us at pair.com. Pair Networks.
Registering a domain name on the web? You should know about Pairnick. Pairnick offers .com names at a great price with quality service you expect. Because Pairnick is powered by internet leader Pair Networks. Whether you need a domain name for business or personal use, Pairnick is your best choice. Remember Pairnick when you need a domain name. That's PAIRNIC.com. Pairnick.
You're listening to Mornings with Patti, where the conversation belongs to everyone.
Half a day, Guam. This is Paul Stanko with your National Weather Service. There could be a slight increase in showers late tonight. Otherwise, mainly isolated showers will prevail through Saturday night. Combined seas will be 3 to 5 feet through Friday night, then they will start to rise. All these rises will be brought by Tropical Storm 09W, which will likely pass between Guam and Saipan. The risk of rip currents is moderate today, but will become high by Sunday. The fire danger is low today, will become moderate Friday, but then become low again Sunday most likely. The latest weather information is always available at www.weather.gov/GUM. Be sure to watch that page as Tropical Storm 09W passes Sunday and Monday.
Pat's Tinting and Detailing offers premier services from complete interior cleaning and VIP detailing. And to keep you cool, Pat's also offers factory, ceramic, blacked out, and based-approved auto tinting. For more information, call 647-SLAM.
Where's my phone? Where's my internet? What happened to my church? What happened to my house? My phone, my newspaper, my internet, my church, now my house? How did this all happen?
Freedom. It's an American thing. From AmericanThing.org.
The road to Adelup is in full swing. We recently spoke with Democrat candidates Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Senator Tina Munia Barnes to learn more about their vision for Guam. Catch the full conversation that took place on May 26th on the Wave 105's YouTube channel. This is a glimpses of Guam radio station.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the show hosts, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the staff or management of Wave 105.1 FM, Glimpses Media, or our partners. We strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, and we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105.1 FM. Enjoy the show.
News, views, and everything Guam cares about. Wave 105.
For too long, Guam has been treated like we matter less. Less voice, less support, fewer rights than other American citizens. No SSI for our seniors and families who need it. No RECA for those harmed by nuclear testing in our region. That's not just wrong, it's unacceptable. We need more than just talk in Washington. We need a proven, effective leader. Mary Camacho Torres will fight for all the rights and privileges of U.S. citizens. She'll fight to bring SSI to Guam. She'll fight to secure RECA justice for our people. She'll stand up, speak out, and demand equal treatment because we've earned it.
I'm Mary Camacho Torres. I'm ready to be your voice in Congress, and I will finish the work.
Your voice in Congress.
I'm Mary Camacho Torres, and I approve this message.
Paid for by the Torres for Congress Committee.
Hungry and need gas? Mobile's got you covered. Now through July 31st, Mobile Smiles app members can enjoy a free 6-inch Subway sandwich with every minimum fill-up of $30 gas at any Guam mobile station. Available exclusively on the mobile app. It's an easy summer win. Fuel up, open the app, and enjoy the rewards. Not a member yet? Pick up a Mobile Smiles card at any mobile location and register today. Mobile and Subway, a great deal for the summer. See store for details.
Celebrating America's 250th birthday. On July 9th, 1955, the afternoon DJ at radio station WFIL showed up for work, and in an instant, his life changed forever. The general manager of WFIL TV told Dick Clark he was the new host of their daily show, Bandstand, and he was to start that very day. Dick later brought the local show to the ABC network, where it became American Bandstand. And over 4 decades, almost every artist in the world appeared on his show, including The Doors.
Why is so much happening in San Francisco? You figured it out yet? The West is the best. All right, fair enough.
Madonna.
What are your dreams? What's left?
To rule the world.
There you go.
And Michael Jackson.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Michael Jackson.
American Bandstand was the viewers' close-up view of their favorite recording artists and is the lasting legacy of Dick Clark.
For now, Dick Clark, so long.
Wave 105, keeping Guam informed, inspired, and in the conversation. Glimpses Media.
I might be too taboo. Tried to be a girl with good intentions.
You know, there's a lot of female singers that have that sound now. It's very much, what's her name again? Oh my God, she passed away. Oh, I can't believe I did that. I do this every single time I try to say her name.
Oh no, singer that passed away. Oh man, come on. There's a list, Patty. Patty, there is a list.
Oh my God. British. Had the same sort of 60s Motown sound to her. And then a lot of people like Olivia Dean have done it.
Oh, Miss Winehouse.
Yeah, Amy Winehouse. So Olivia Dean has done it. There's a whole list of ladies who have that sound, right? There's a new girl that's out there. She did a song, and I just loaded it up. I'm pretty sure I'm Johnny Come Lately on this one, but I just put it in one of my Vibes playlists the other day because of its stuff that's, I mean, absolutely wonderful kind of. But these British singers that have come through, boy, they're crushing it, man.
They are. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. All of them. Insert artist here.
Is it arc? Anyway, so that they got that kind of sound. I don't even know how to describe it when you hear it, you know.
all
But yeah, it's got that '60s groove to it. But
All right,
you know,
we're gonna go for 60s.
sort of a. Dice is like, well, like you're hearing sort of that Temptation Motown sound that they do. You can hear a little of the the bop stuff from the 50s, early 60s. You know, that's getting that kind of that smooth sort of whatever. But back in the day.
R&B with a little soul. Can't be mad at that.
You can't
Sade. I mean, insert him here. Sade. She's amazing. I love her too.
You know, I like her too, but I always have an argument about her.
Oh,
she always hits that one same note.
All right.
One. Number two, she's got a very distinctive. All the music kind of sounds alike. I guess that for some, because like Billie Eilish is like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's got she just has a sound. She has you can't get away with it. You just know who she is. But Sade, all the songs just sound the same to me. Is it just me? I think she's great. I just think that the songs all sound the same.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's gonna be you, Patty.
Yeah.
That's gonna be you, Patty.
Yeah, I can't distinguish between one. I mean, I can hear the lyrics and I can hear the differences in the song, but they all sort of sound. Okay. She just has a very distinct, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing at all, because be it far from me to criticize an award-winning singer. You either. I'm not a fan. In other words, I don't go out and buy her albums, and I don't know if I even have one single Sade song in my library.
Ed
I mean,
Sheeran, Adele, Dua Lipa. I mean, they're all coming out of the UK. Calvin Harris, Harry Styles.
but it's that one kind of sound. And
Okay, what are you looking for? What are we looking
I know I know it, and if I go through my playlist, I'll be able to get it because there's some obscure stuff. What I do when I'm cooking or milling about in the kitchen, I'll ask Google to play today's hits or the hits, and that's where I'll find stuff. Right, these are things that just came out. Right. And I tend to just I'll build a playlist because I'm like, well, that sounds pretty cool. Oh, they're great. It's like a new artist or a new whatever. But I don't necessarily hear them on the radio ever yet, right? Okay. But at least I, have an idea. Okay. So when you're in your WhatsApp, there's a thing called Meta AI, and it's got this purple flower symbol.
Purple flower. Okay, WhatsApp, purple flower.
And I don't know how I got into this, but if I just put a name in it, they always do. Like I put in to see whether or not I had Mayor Champaco's phone number. And so what I listed. Oh my! Somebody doesn't know what I do for a living. Let me just get out of this. What I did was I put in his name, and the Meta AI created this entire chat list of potential things that I should be saying, like "Happy birthday, Mayor Champaco."
Okay.
It's called Meta AI, and it's in my WhatsApp, and I can't. I either have to archive it or delete the chat or something. If I enter into that one chat a name, let me do yours, and let me see what it comes up with.
Meta AI.
Yeah, it's in there. Okay, so I'm going to go to Meta AI, and I'm going to go Dice. I'm just simply writing your name, Dice. And then come back is thinking for Dice. For Dice, oh, okay. They gave me a graphic of a dice and a birthday hat.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Dice.
Okay.
Hope you roll a natural 20 on this year.
Okay.
More wins, good laughs, and 0 bad rolls.
There we go.
The short hyper one is HBD Dice, another year leveled up.
Okay.
Go celebrate big today.
Right.
And then a quick WhatsApp send is happy birthday, Dice. Make it a great one.
And this is Meta AI.
Yeah, and then it asks me, do you want it roasty, heartfelt, or gaming themed? Since Dice sounds like it, I'm gonna go roasty.
Okay.
Because you're kind of hot.
All right.
Unless that's not what roasty means. Maybe roasty means they're gonna roast you.
I don't think that's what it is, but that's okay. They'll never know. That's okay. This is Meta AI.
Dice is like, are we done yet? Okay, hang on. Roasty. I'm gonna do a roasty. Got you. Roasty version for Dice.
Let me see.
Happy birthday, Dice. Congrats on leveling up another year without rage quitting life. Jeez, this is too much.
Still rolling ones at adulting, but hey, at least you're consistent. Hope you crit today.
Okay.
Ugh, that's a roasty version.
Yeah.
Words I'll never say.
Okay. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Dice. You're not old.
Meta AI.
You don't got it yet?
Okay, yeah.
You're not old. You're just vintage, like a worn-out D20 that only lands on one. Have fun anyway.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Dice. You've been around long enough to remember dial-up.
Okay.
Do you?
Yes.
You don't? Okay. But somehow still can't remember your passwords.
Dial-up, pagers.
This is kind of insulting. I mean, hello, man. I get it, some manners. I would never say that to you.
No, that's that.
Not at least written down. I'd say it to your face, but I
But
wouldn't
we
say
post
it
stuff like that. That's okay. Yeah, we post stuff like that. You know what I mean?
So you have it now?
Yeah.
Put in my name.
I see. No, it's not downloaded.
Oh, did I download that?
I don't.
Did I download that?
I
Did
get
I know
nervous
I
on
downloaded
some.
it?
Man, I get nervous on some of this stuff.
Yeah,
you
me
know what I
too,
mean? I
but-
got to go incognito on a lot of it for like extra privacy. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
true.
It's like, you
Well,
know.
I say the only
What's up?
latest technology that I'm
Okay,
really
let's go.
looking forward to owning.
Okay.
And maybe when I have a few extra $100 laying around.
What are you going
because
for?
this is not like a necessity.
Okay.
Is the Meta glasses.
Yes. I'm on the same page as you.
They're actually, if you get the Gen 1, you're only going to spend less than $300, 200 something.
I would
But
love
the
to have
Gen 2s, and this is Ray-Ban, because the only two out right now are Ray-Ban and Oakley. And Kylie Jenner is working with, is got one. I think she's affiliated with Ray-Ban, I can't be sure. But Meta, Apple is coming out with their own version of that.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Apple.
coming up next. That's coming up like in 2027, which is going to be like the thing to get.
Right.
But right now, I got one. It depends on what
You're doing.
where
I think
buy.
you would look cute in the Kylie edition.
I haven't seen it.
Okay. Yeah.
What does it look like?
They're Starfires.
Oh, Ray-Bans.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you would like that. I think you'd look cute in that. I think that would be a you. I could see you. Doing
Well, I
that.
try. Well, see, like the thing with Ray-Ban right
see you
now
do
is they only have the classic black.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They don't have any different. You know, Ray-Ban is a signature style, a
Right.
frame. It looks the same,
Right.
except for the Wayfarers, which I have, which are a rounded version of that. But the black sort of nerd glass is what they use for. That's their standard line, right? Well, I went to, where was I? At some place, optometry clinic. Oh, I was getting Riley's eyes checked before we left to Guam. And he needed new glasses because he lost them. And so I said, well, let's go check them out. I said, let's get these. And they were the Ray-Ban Metas, and they were the Gen 2. So they're a little more pricey. But I thought, it's a graduation present. Let me just get him, what I can get him, right? They only had the one style. It was like that black frame. And it, the texture was different. Either it was a matte texture or a shiny texture. Anyway, so he tried them on, and he looked pretty good in them. And so the reason why it cost like $100 more was for the actual lens.
Okay.
So what they do, so I said, man, I'm not going to spend $400 some on the Meta glasses.
Right.
At this, I think it was Target's or pharmacy, right,
Okay,
or something like that. So the pharmacy that's there. I said I'm not going to spend $400 on the glasses, $100 on the eye exam, and then the lenses are another $100. I'm not doing that. That's like $700 all in for one pair of glasses for this kid.
Okay.
I said I think I can do this more efficiently, right? So I went on Amazon.
Go for it.
$331. Picked up the glasses. Came with the regular lens. Took it over to the optometrist or optometrist. They popped out the lens, made a new one. Boom, done. And it didn't cost but a second.
I like them.
Yeah, and so
I really do like them.
They're really nice. So Cerise, we were sitting at a restaurant somewhere in Vegas, and there was this picture in Hawaii.
They got blue frames, Patty.
The Metas?
Yes.
I mean the Ray-Bans?
Yes. They have blue frames, and you can also change the lens colors.
That must be new.
They got
Dang it!
They got new dusty red. Patty, this
Now,
is
are you sure that's Ray-Ban?
Yes, Patty.
Where
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, Patty.
No. Are
It's
they
the
Meta?
Wayfarers. The Wayfarers Gen 2.
Oh.
They're the Meta AIs.
Okay.
Ray-Bans, right? The frame colors, they come in blue. They come in black. Now, this is just for the frames, okay? All right, they got the clear, right? They got the gray. Now
Okay.
for the lens, it's the clear looks nice. The transparent gray looks really good. Yeah, I think you
I
should
see.
get
Oh, no, no, no.
that's you. Okay, now for the lens, you can get like they got the polarized brown, right? They got this
Oh,
green
I see
looks
it. And
really
the stand is a charger.
good. This
He-
is really
okay.
hot.
See now,
Patty.
this
is hot. This is Patty. Yes.
Wait a minute, but these are not what you're looking at. Aren't all Meta Ray-Bans?
Shop AI glasses. Discover AI glasses
Mm.
that blend cutting edge technology with iconic style.
Okay, what side are you on?
Okay. Let me send you the link.
Okay, I'm just on Amazon because that's where I bought it the last time. I do see pink. I do see pink frames.
Okay.
The carbon fiber.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna share the
okay,
link. Don't say the link, but I'm gonna give it to you because I got to get my pair first before everyone in Guam because I don't like people wearing the same as me. So Patty, I'm
So they have. Oh, I also see another Wayfarer, and they are different colors. There's glossy.
There you go.
Wait a minute. These are just. Hang on a second. These are not.
No, they got to be AI. We're going AI.
Yeah, they have to be generation.
AI. There you go.
Something's wrong with this. This is not the same.
That's not the same.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's not.
Oh, you went to. Okay, I see where you went.
I am at AI glasses. I don't know
You're
which-
on the home page.
I am there.
You are in ground zero,
I'm
is
at
where you
ground
are.
Zero. You cannot mess up on ground zero. Okay.
Okay, no, and absolutely. Who are you looking at when you say Starfire is my jam?
That's cute.
It's cute for if
Patty,
you're.
that's not you.
If you're Barbie, bro, that
Patty.
is so not me.
That's not you.
No, girl.
Patty, that's not you.
No.
No.
No, no.
I thought that would be a you.
No,
Okay,
no.
I thought you'd
I'm
be
like,
cute in that.
I'm sorry.
That's a
Have you
Kylie.
seen the size of my eyeballs lately?
Oh, Patty, what are those?
Those are. I know they're not that.
Those are somethings. What are those?
I
Hold on.
ordered a pack and they come in three
No,
different
the frames.
That's
Look
what
at
I'm
the-
saying.
Are they turtle? Are those
Yeah.
turtle frames?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's the turtle frames.
They're too big and I
Turtle
think I got 'em
frames.
too
No,
small.
no. That's cute. That's cute. So here you go.
Hey.
AI. Choose a frame. Choose the lens, and you are good. And they're all affordable. Bing bang.
Yeah, they
boom.
are. Until iPhone comes out with theirs, and then it's going to be twice the cost.
That's why you gotta get
Because
it
you're going to be
now.
able to watch movies or something
No,
crazy like
we're gonna
that.
wait for Black Friday, right? Because Alicia Keys is also gonna drop some too.
See, now,
See, she's going AI too, and I think that's gonna be
well, Reese had got a Gen 1 for Christmas, and so now she upgraded. She got a new one. Yeah, so she was the first time I'd ever seen glasses like that, and she was rocking them, and we were sitting in this restaurant, and she was trying to tell us how it works, and we saw this big framed picture. It was a Hawaiian cuisine restaurant in Hawaii. I mean, in Guam. Vegas, and she looked at the picture. We didn't know where it was. We all lived in Hawaii for many years. All the kids were born there. They're like, I don't know what that landmark is. So she said, "What Meta? What am I looking at?" All she said was, "What am I looking at?" And then it came back with the answer of the landmark. And we're like, "Oh, okay, now I see it." And I was like, "How did you do that?" And then she said, you tell her what to do. And I said, you have to like give it this, you have to tell them, because I said, how do you do anything covertly? Like I said, you see that family walking in the door, how do you videotape them without having to make the command verbally? Because then that takes away the whole spy factor. And she said, you just tap it onto your phone. You just make the command on your cell phone. And then immediately, and you could see that she recording of the people that were walking in the door at the time. I don't know how many minutes or seconds it takes, but I was like, that is like the coolest thing. So I wanted one, but I wasn't going to buy it for myself because I don't spend money like that on myself. But I thought this would be cool, and then I realized. First of all, I got that cataract replacement surgery.
Cataract replacement surgery.
So I don't need, if I wore them, it wouldn't be, here's why it's going to be lost on me.
Okay.
It's good for people like Tia, like Cerise, who wears glasses all the time because they're prescription.
Okay.
Riley's is prescription, so he can't really see without them, right? He needs them, so he wears them all the time. I don't wear them all the time. I use reading glasses, but I can see far. And I only wear reading glasses when I'm reading, and I take them off immediately because I can't see far with reading glasses. So I would only be able to have them just for show and tell.
Got you.
And I'd still be taking my glasses off to put my reading ones on. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
So
you run around like 15 bifocals. Why do you want
Yeah,
to do that? So, like, just get one. They don't have like
15
15 pairs of bifocals. Like, dude, like, give me my reading glasses, my cooking glasses, my driving glasses. Like, give me. Like,
I have like 9 pairs of these.
That's crazy.
And they all come in different frames. They're all about the same kind of frame, but different sizes of the frame and different patterns on each of the ones. And then, and I have like the straight black ones, which I wear. I just leave it in my nightstand because that's where I wear before I go to sleep. But other than that, I've got like 9 of these.
These are cool glasses. I really want one.
And I need them. I want the Meta just so I can, just because I like the features of it. But where would I wear? At what point would I actually use them, given what you know about my eyesight? In what scenario? The longest I would wear them is sunglasses, and even them, I take
driving. You should use it driving. I would say
Yeah, but
driving.
how am I gonna? It'll be clear glass.
Yeah, I would say.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I would say where I'm driving.
No frame, no anything.
No,
but then I'd still have to take them off to put the reading glass. I guess some people do that.
Yeah,
they take off their glasses to do reading.
I would. Yeah.
I just look like I'd be doing a lot of wardrobe changes on my eyes. Unnecessarily. It's like, lady, you're coming in too deep every time you walk. You put something in your purse. It's like too deep glasses. Who does that?
I don't know. I'm putting on glasses virtually. I'm seeing which pair looks good on me.
Are you doing that?
Yes, Patty, you got to put them on before you buy them. You can't just be buying stuff without wearing
Well, I
them
bought
first.
9 of these, and I don't even know what it looks like until.
See, you can't be online shopping and not. Try
I am
on the
not
product
the
first.
I am not the girl. I can't.
Oh, that looks sharp.
What do you have to take your picture?
I don't know. This
you have
one
to
got-
take your. Let
I'm
me
getting
see.
Stevie Wonder vibes on some of
Let me
these.
see.
No.
Which one is that?
Well, if I move my camera, then it's gonna move.
Oh, because it's on your face
It
already.
is.
You,
Yeah,
you
so-
can't take a still.
It's on the website.
You can't take. Oh,
Yeah. it's
oh
on
you
the
want me to do it?
Yeah, you can go to the website.
Well,
and
now
it'll say
see,
to
I
put the
wanted people
glasses
to
on.
play along, and they won't be able to play along. Oh, hello, try on virtually.
Patty,
I don't know.
I cannot deal with
You're
you
lucky
today.
I've gotten
You are
this far in the
stressing-
conversation.
You're stressing me out. You are stressing
You're lucky I've gotten this far in the
me
conversation.
out,
I
right?
hope it's a good
So then
picture.
you can pick one, and then you see which one looks good. Oh, you see that? Patty, we got to go shopping together. I am going to introduce you
I
to
have
the
a
world.
feeling that I'm the girl that's going to be sitting in the bar.
I'm like, Patty, I got to
I'm
help you,
like,
girl.
meet me at the bar. Okay.
These are really cool. Okay.
Oh, I'm
see-
looking at myself. Oh, I don't like that.
See that? Now put on the Kylie Jenners. What do you think? No? You don't like the Kylies? You can put them on. See how
I
they
don't.
look.
I don't see the Kylies.
Huh?
$329. Oh, because
That's
okay,
not
here,
a bad
Kylie.
deal. See, you click
Okay,
on
here's
try
Kylie.
on virtually. There you go, and put them on. You like them? What do you think? You know? No, maybe not.
Let me. Can I take a screenshot?
You could take a screenshot.
You're gonna hate it.
You're doing it from your phone? Okay, yeah, that's
What are
fine.
you doing it from?
From my MacBook, so I can.
Okay, I'm not
see my
fancy
whole-
like that.
So then you can see the whole outfit and see which one goes with the frames.
Wow, you're.
You know, you got to go all in.
You are.
Like-
You are somebody I don't even know right
Say,
now.
You got to make one. Well, you got to think of all the outfits in your closet, right? You got to get one that matches everything, right? You know what
All
I
right,
mean?
I sent it to you.
Okay. All right. See, now I got to close my window. Okay. All right. Fine. Let me see what you got. Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Dude.
I'm not feeling it.
Patty.
How much are
Yes.
those? How much are those?
Those are hot.
How much are they?
$3.99.
Okay, I'm looking at the one that's $2.99.
Those-
Looks great.
Those are hot.
You ever
Patty.
do that? It's like the cheaper one. Look, you look like a total moron, but
You
it's
don't-
$100 cheaper,
Who
and you're
said
going to
that?
make it work.
They're lying. You do not.
I'm looking at the $2.99.
Those look good.
I don't like.
You don't like them? These are great. I think these
Plus
AI
that,
glasses
remember,
are really
we're
cool.
doing clear frames.
You're
I'm not
doing
going to
clear-
do the sunglasses.
Oh, you're doing the clear frames.
Because it's not now. It's just aesthetic. That's what I'm saying. If I spend $3.99 for something that's just aesthetic,
If
it's
you wear
not.
these in a bank, do you have to take them off? Because the lenses are tinted? What do you think? But they're AI.
I
What do
don't
you
know.
think?
COVID changed the rules. Remember,
If I
COVID, you could
wear
come in
these the
masked.
bank,
Yeah,
you know,
no,
I'll be like,
well,
you have to remove your glasses. I'm like, but they're AI.
No.
do you
Remember back
think?
in the no, you're right though.
think,
In the
right?
COVID, remember in COVID, it's like
These are hot.
when you come into the bank during COVID, please look like a robber. Remember?
Oh, wow.
Remember? Because they
Whoa.
were saying you have to put your mask on.
Now
Nobody
we're
was
robbers.
identifiable, right?
That's great,
They're
Patty.
like, please cover your head and put your mask on. And just come looking like a robber and you're going to be in.
These are cool. These are really cool. I'm keeping these away from my nieces because then they're gonna be like watching YouTube.
I'll tell you what.
Can I watch
No,
YouTube?
what, can you watch?
Look,
I don't think you can
stop.
watch videos on there, can you? Whatever your cell phone, because
let's
you're
go.
pairing it to your phone, your cell phone.
You're paying it to your phone, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So all your
Right?
things, can you see?
I think if you jailbreak them, then you might be good.
Can you actually? Should we ask Reese?
Yeah. You know what? Yes.
Because Reese has nothing to do. She's I take that back. She's a
Well, she's at work.
well, she's also
She
she's
has
on
a
break right
job.
now. This would be her break.
She's on break.
She is. It's 8:38. She's on break.
Oh man.
I just want to
Reese.
find out whether or not you could watch movies with your Meta
You know, we
Gen
were just
2s.
talking about this yesterday with Spell and Ed.
Hello,
Go.
Cerise.
What did they say?
Yes.
It's Mom.
See this? This is on Paris.
It's Mom.
Hello.
Hello. You know you're on the air. You know the.
I told you.
You know the Gen 2s that you have? Can you watch videos on them? Because Dice and I are shopping for them right now.
Can you watch videos?
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
it's just a camera, so you can record videos, but
Oh, you can't.
like you can. So it's a Bluetooth, and it hooks up to your phone
Right.
or iPad or whatever, and you can watch your phone and hear through your glasses.
Oh, you can hear through your glasses.
That is so
That's your
cool.
speaker is inside the frame.
Patty, let's buy us a
And then
pair.
you could take
yeah.
pictures. You could take pictures. She said you could take pictures. And then, like I said, remember that when we were in that one Hawaiian restaurant place, and then none of us knew what that photo was, and you just said, "What am I looking at?" She goes, "What am I looking at?" Yeah.
Yeah. You can ask. It's AI. So there's a built-in AI, a speaker, a camera, and then there's a indicator in the front that shows people that you're recording when you take a photo or if you record.
Oh yeah, the camera's right on the front. So I was
It's
thinking
kinda
of.
like Siri.
I wanted her to give me the one that the original she had, but it was a gift, so she didn't want to give it to me. So I said, okay, I'll go get my own, but I'm not going to spend that much money just on myself, only because I don't use glasses to see far. I only use glasses to see close. So that lens is out because I don't use that all the time. I couldn't wear them as sunglasses because that is too much money for just using them when the sun is out. And so I was going to just have a clear frame, so I just look cool.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
You can change the lenses for reading lenses if you want.
Yeah, but then I'll only be wearing it for as long as I'm reading. You know what I mean? What I
So you
want to
might
do,
as well look-
yeah, I might as well just get. What I want to do is I want to videotape Dice while she's in the studio, like when she
yeah,
least
can-
expects it.
You're evil.
Yeah, you can do that.
You're so evil.
Okay.
You're gonna spy on people.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. See,
So
that's
evil.
what I'm talking about.
So
Spying on people.
So
That's why they made lights for people like you. They put the indicator so that people know
that it's
that you're not
recording.
being creepy. So sorry.
Oh, so a big old light will show on my glasses when it shows I'm recording somebody.
Yeah.
I'll take.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's no fun. Well, okay, you just saved me $421. Thanks, babe.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, see you later.
These are cute.
Goodbye.
These look good.
Make good choices.
These look really good.
Let me see which ones that
I'm
you're
doing.
looking at.
I'm on the Vanguard.
We're shopping. I forgot we were on the radio.
We're on the
Actually,
Vanguard.
we're talking about Meta glasses. And
AI is new now. You know,
AI
that's,
is new.
that's the way to go. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You can play around on Chat GPT or grab yourself a pair of AI glasses, and they got really good features. Your daughter just told us all the cool features that come with it. Thank God that you get notifications if someone was recording you, Patty, because we don't like stalkers. That's just creepy. You know what I mean? That's just awkward. But now you can go to the Sazu and just record the whole thing. It's like, where you at? I'm at the Rosary. Wait, it's recording.
It's recording.
It's recording.
It's recording, so I can go in and redo it in the car on the way home.
It is, dude. I see you at mass today, bro. Hold on, I recorded you. You were at the front second row, dude. I saw you at church today. I recorded it. No,
Oh, my God.
this is wild. I mean, man, the possibilities are just endless right
They
now.
are absolutely.
Possibilities are endless with this, but again, can you wear them in the bank though?
Why not?
Right? I mean, if I'm already looking,
But you're
like,
saying it is sunglasses
because it matches your fit.
If you're saying sunglasses,
Yeah.
well, you know,
The AI
I
sunglasses.
know that they take. The only time I've ever been asked to take off my glasses was even when I'm like going through TSA.
Yeah.
Right? Or they tell you to take off your glasses because they need to see your face to
Our
match your
favorite
passport.
friend Jackie in Washington says she's got a pair, and they are really cool for her.
Is she joking?
No,
because she's blind.
You know what?
What is
said
she looking at?
I don't know, but she said she's. You know, with Jackie, you never really know. She's our.
I know. I
favorite.
can't tell if she's making
She's our
because I could see.
She said she has her, and they come in pretty.
I could see her. Here's where I feel like it's pretty handy. Yeah, she could be joking because she cracks all these blind jokes, right? But I think that what she might be saying is the reason why it comes in handy is that she can ask Meta what is she's looking at.
Right.
Like, what am I looking at? And that Meta will then tell her.
Patty, you're onto something.
Right?
Patty. You know what?
For the blind. We're missing the point.
I think insurance companies should cover AI
We are
glasses for
missing the
people.
point.
I
Thank
like
you,
that.
Jackie.
Jackie, you're
on
on
it. Yes, we're missing the point here. That is an aid. I'm pretty sure. Has there ever been any of that technology before? I want to know if that is that Jackie. Okay. Well, is that her?
Hold on, because she's like, I am here.
Okay. Well, half a day. Jackie, we were telling you got so many blind jokes. We don't know when you're serious. But here's the theory. Do you use them to help you see to help you know what you're seeing or looking at?
Yes, and that's why I'm laughing at you and Dice is going throughout this whole conversation. And so, yes, what you call it, it comes in very handy for the visually impaired and blind. I got mine. Dice, I got mine at Costco.
$300, and you didn't.
It was over $300.
Yeah.
And it was nice because Costco actually. I went over to Best Buy. Best Buy was like $500, and it's for the same glasses.
What
and
generation?
So Costco had them only for $300 something.
What generation?
2.
Oh, nice. That's a good. That's
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That quality.
So it was pretty cool, and it really does come in very handy. And the voice on it, sometimes though it's a little scary because it's like a human voice. And so like if I asked it, like if I say, "Hey Meta, can you read the temperature on my oven and tell me what it is?" And then she'll say, "You are at 350 degrees."
Oh my God,
and then
that is
she'll say, and sometimes she'll say, "Are you going to bake?" I'm like, "What the heck? She's talking to me."
Wow. Okay, mind your own business.
But it comes in really handy. But I also do see, I think in any piece of technology, it always comes out wonderful. But it's not always like 100%, 99% that it's going to be a full, because I have asked it questions like, "Hey Meta, what color is my cane that I'm holding right now?" And she's like, "I don't see a cane." And then I'll have to go back and say, "Hey Meta, this cane I'm holding is a white cane for the blind." And then she'll say, "Oops, my bad. I did not know that." She says, "My bad." I'm not.
Well, AI is getting cool these days, I think.
It is. I'm just like, wow, she's pretty, she's pretty cool and stuff. But it does really come in handy because even when I'm baking, and I ask it, I'll open the oven and pull out the rack, and I'll say, "Hey Meta, how do these look?" And then she'll say, "They look golden on the edges with a nice soft middle." It's like she really explains it.
You're looking in the mirror asking her this.
Looking in my oven.
I thought you were asking about yourself. What do I look like? Okay. You look a little golden. I'm like, is that the look you were going for?
I'm
Okay.
like, that's how I look in the mirror. Pretty golden.
It's halo-like. It looks like a halo. Okay. Oh, that is so neat. So do you?
Yes.
That is so neat. And you don't. You're using when you get the glasses. You're using the basic because you don't have to change out the lenses. Because you always wear sunglasses, right?
Correct, and that's one of the reasons why I just went on ahead. My two boys here that are blind, the one I brought from Guam, they were able to actually get their metas from the Department of Services for the Blind, but they gave them the clear one because I don't know. I guess maybe that's their purchase. So they went on ahead and bought the black lens, to cover it so it looks like shades. Where mine came in and because me, I use shades anyways, and so I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. And, I really, it comes in very handy because then I don't have to have my ears covered in the sense like when I'm listening to the recordings or listening to music or listening to my streaming when I'm, watching TV on my phone.
We are doing a real bang-up job on dedicating for Ray-Ban and for Oakley and for apparently now Kylie Jenner. But definitely, you know what? You might be onto something to advocate for these to be covered by prescription.
Yes.
Or at least somehow or another be serviced through by agents, government agencies.
Yes,
that's a great tool. I'm so glad that you got that. I'm so glad.
Well, and I plan to do that, and I hope that because I'll be bringing it back home to Guam. I'll be coming back on November 2nd, back home to Guam to continue my mission for the blind, and go and check my kids back there. Well, my two boys here. They start school next month here at the School for the Blind that I went to.
Nice.
And, as soon as I get them settled in, I was supposed to come back right after I get them settled in, but I was asked to be a keynote speaker at the state convention for the blind here, and it doesn't take place until October 30th. So as soon as I get done with that, I'll be heading back home to Guam for a little bit.
I love it. Well, make sure you stop in. Make sure you stop. Okay, here's another place where I think that this is going to work for you, okay? So you're going on a quote-unquote blind date, right?
Yes.
Okay, the guy says, what?
God. Okay.
It's a blind joke. She gets it.
Yes. God. I got this, Dice. I got this.
Blind, she got this. Okay, so you're on a blind date. The guy says that he's like, 6'1" and built like a house. And he's got like green eyes and he's just gorgeous. When you actually show up at the blind date, can ask Meta, what am I looking at? And then she'll tell you, you're looking at a 5'4", scrawny guy with blonde hair, blue eyes, and red corpuscles. And then you can decide. He weighs about 130 pounds. And then you can decide whether you want to stay or go.
Just pretend I can't see them.
Your blind dates will no longer be blind. You've cracked the code.
You guys are so bad. I cannot.
It'll be like, I guess it will be really helpful. But being blind, one advantage is whether you're pretty or ugly, you still gonna look good to me. So let's do this.
Wow! Oh God, help us all.
That's wrong.
Yeah, I got it. This love matching is not working for me. I bombed. I bombed straight away. Wow. All right, sis. Hey, make sure you swing by and let us know that you're here in town, okay?
Oh, I will. I can't wait to see you both. I love you all.
I love you too. Happy 4th of July. Appreciate it.
Yes, same to you guys back home.
Thanks
Take good care. God bless.
Okay,
bye-bye.
Bye.
Look at that. I cannot with you two. Y'all stress me out.
Well, now we know. We spent 51 minutes talking about Meta glasses.
Insurance coverage, Patty.
Insurance
this
coverage.
is
Good
really,
call, Dice.
Patty, we're on to something really
insurance
big here.
coverage or that some
for the blind.
Some agency. Like she says in Seattle, that guy's glasses were covered by whatever the name of that agency is that offers services to the blind. But it was a clear lens because you got to spend a little more. I need the clear lens. That's what I'm talking about.
You're going clear lenses.
Well, because I don't. I need
slightly tinted.
It has to be. Dear God, nobody wants that. But I wear them so that I can do stuff. I can.
Yes. Okay. I'm with that. I support that.
Okay.
Idea.
All right.
I'm with that.
Did we go through a break or did we have a meta break?
No, we went.
We had an AI break. Okay, let's fix this. We'll be right back.
Live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for and there they go. Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. But the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
As parents, we have a million things running through our minds. Playdates, checkups, groceries, laundry, diapers, work, carpool schedules, picture day, swim team, did we mention diapers, birthday parties, meal prep, lost permission slips, dentist appointments, and the dog that still needs to be walked. So it's easy to make a mistake. Oh, I forgot birthday candles. Sit tight, hon, I'll be right back. We say we'd never put our kids in danger by leaving them in the car alone. Oh, wait, since when are candles not on the baking aisle? But never happens. And temperatures as low as 60 degrees can be deadly for children left behind. So always bring them with you, and every time you park the car, stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It all connects. The girl who walks for hours to bring home the family's water, the school she can't attend most days, the breakfast she didn't have, the rain that hasn't fallen in months, the danger around the next bend, her little brother's belly laugh, her mother's hug, her dreams of being a teacher, an engineer, the mayor. All the reasons life is both so hard and so beautiful. It all connects. But so do we, for children's sakes. At Child Fund, we connect through everything we do, together, so every child can grow up healthy, educated, and safe. Because we need each other. Learn more at childfund.org.
We are all for first-time guests and longtime friends. All for First Light and Starlight. For road trips and trail runs. All for mountaintops and monuments. River bends and battlefields. We're all for showing up and giving back. To protect, to preserve, to pass it on. All parks depend on us, and we're all for parks. Join us at nationalparks.org/allforparks.
A message from Joshua Jackson, actor and Fair Volunteer Ambassador.
Food allergy is a serious, life-threatening disease that impacts over 33 million Americans. When your immune system sees certain food proteins as a threat, every bite matters. But here's the good news. There have been advancements in the treatment of food allergies, and with one voice, we can create better awareness. Because in the FAIR community, the disease doesn't own us. We own our journey. Talk to an allergist to understand your options. Visit foodallergy.org/empower to learn more.
Hi, human. I'm a micro monster, swimming around in your plastic water bottle. But I can't wait to swim in your bloodstream soon.
Microplastics are micro monsters.
Drink me. Wait, what are you doing?
But you can fight back by using glass or metal reusable water bottles.
No!
Don't let microplastic micro monsters invade your body. Find more ways to fight back at stopmicromonsters.org.
Every 16 seconds, an American receives a cancer diagnosis, and every minute of every day, another person loses their life to cancer. That's why Stand Up to Cancer has set a bold goal to make early stage detection an essential part of standard of care for all cancers. So often, if cancer is detected early, the chance of long-term survival is 90%. So if we all support cancer research, more than 2 million lives can be saved in the next decade. So join the mission and help save lives today at standuptocancer.org.
Community conversation starts here. Wave 105, the talk of Guam.
You know what? You know a typhoon is coming when you're asking what the sales are at Home Depot. I'm like, it's hopping at Home Depot. I go, why? What's on sale?
That's
suddenly,
everyone that flies
suddenly
a
I need
Saipan.
everything.
They're like, oh, you're going to Saipan, aren't you? Because I see Ryobi. It's like embarrassing. It's like, they'll call it out to you. They're like, you must be going to Saipan. How many fans today? It's like,
I have to make a stop there on the way home, and I'm not looking forward to it because, well, I'm looking forward to it better today than I would be tomorrow when everybody's off.
I love that. And American Grocery's got a lot of sales going on for Liberation Weekend, too. I don't know if they have hamburger buns, but they do have
Well, I am
sales
good
going
on the hamburger buns. And, well, maybe I should not speak so fast because I'm looking for a particular one. Yeah, no. 4th of July. It's my mother's birthday.
Okay.
Well, not that anybody cares, but I'm just saying
It's your
compared to
mom's
the 200.
birthday.
But
So you're
that's-
going to Mass. You have a Mass? Are you guys
well,
going to do Mass?
I'm going to go to, yes, I'll go to a
Right,
Mass,
you
and
got
then we're going to
Mass.
run down to the, we always go down to
Mass.
the gravesite. We say, a small prayer, and then, take a picture of it. I don't know.
Right on.
But definitely I'll be going to Mass in the morning. All right. So, not in the morning.
I like seeing kids
Saturday.
at the cemetery. You ever see kids at a cemetery, like the little ones, be like, what are you guys talking about? Be like, well, I told Grandma.
Oh.
It's like, you just snitching to the dirt. They just be snitching to the
I
dirt.
always say, God, do you think that she can see us through that box?
I know, right? They're like, well, we're talking to Grandma. I'm like, well, this is a long conversation. Speed it up. We got to go.
Yeah.
It's like, hurry
I got
up.
things
We
to do.
Things to do. You can't have this.
You can't be
long
having this whole conversation about what you did and what you ate for dinner. She doesn't care right now. We don't care right now.
You know what I mean? They bring like near dead flowers that they pick from
I
someone else's grave. Where did you get those flowers
Yeah.
from?
Oh yeah, be careful of that, dude.
Taken from the neighbors.
I don't know how many times I've had to replace my lamp. Like you take the lamp. I had that lamp with the eternal candle in it, and somebody like swiped it on the in the first week.
Dude, it's crazy. Who
I
steals
think
from
that you're going to Candle Hill. You have no idea.
You know, like you put like a coffee or their favorite drink or like, you know what I mean?
Budweiser.
Bro, right.
They're
and
putting
it's-
a bud on the floor.
And someone steals it. It's like, wow, you guys really from the dead, really,
Yeah.
guys. That's a whole.
Actually,
nother-
what
that's a
the
whole
other
nother
ones is
shit.
that I don't care so much to see it here, but the cemetery business is a big business in the States, especially around in Hollywood.
Okay.
Because they have all these celebrities.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, just going and seeing the tombstone of
like Kobe, Whitney, like that.
that kind of thing.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
it's like a thing. People go and they
is.
take pictures as if that person was there. That's kind of awkward. That's why when they buried Princess Diana, they buried her on this small little island in a lake off the Spencer family estate, so that they didn't have people trying to come and go to the grounds and drop flowers. I mean, they didn't want any of it. She was
Got it.
buried on their family or the Spencer family estate, so nobody can get to it. The only people allowed to get to it is really just family who come and visit the gravesite,
Okay,
and you've got to take a little rowboat to get there. That's why they dumped Osama bin Laden's body in the ocean.
They just dumped him in the ocean?
Yeah.
Sorry.
They
I know
dumped
I
him in the
shouldn't be
ocean,
like,
and when
you
they
know.
recovered his body after the invasion, they took his body and dumped it in the ocean because they didn't want a landmark for people to gather to mourn his death.
You guys just dump him in the ocean.
Yeah, so I mean,
guess,
you
but-
can't for safety reasons. You're not going to bury him in his. You know what I mean? It's out of sight, out of mind, right? So you still have like a place that you can go and gather and meet and plot.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's just you and the sharks now, dude. Like, whoa.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
But I don't want you to bury me in the ocean.
No, look, I'm going for cremation. I'm doing like 100%.
I don't even know if I want to be cremated.
You don't want to be cremated?
No, I want to be like prominently displayed in a mausoleum that my kids have to
Good
literally
Lord.
daily
Okay, you're one of
come
those.
and make use of the investment. We spent $5,000 on this mausoleum.
Like, hey, when you
I'm
go to
coming
this-
every day. No, I'm
You
just
like,
joking.
see that condo right there? That's Patty's.
Patty's condo.
That's Patty's condo. No,
I
at the
never even-
cemetery.
I
You know,
never
these
even thought of-
cemeteries are turning into houses now. You see these graves?
I have seen them.
Patty, it's like, darling, whose cemetery is this?
I
one? It's
know.
like,
I've
whose
seen
grave
them.
is this?
You know the honoring.
Bougie.
I know. You know
Like
the honoring of the honoring of that person. I do remember my mother was a very conservative woman, and she said, "Bury me in a wooden coffin." She wanted it was a very basic sort of, and true to her of course, my grandmother was like, we're going for this, right? Like something was a little more, not ornate, but more ornate than a wooden box.
I got you. Yeah, of course.
And we decided as a family, like us little bambinos, we're like, nah, she wanted a wooden box. I think we ought to give her what she wants, right? Gotcha. Yeah, just bury it. But we buried it in a red dress, so there's that too. Anyway, listen.
But some of these plots are kind of bougie, though. I see some bougie ones be like, wow, whose grave is this?
I know. It's like, where can I move in? Is there?
Like,
have you seen the one that has like electricity running? Like temperature controlled, bruh.
It's like some of them got some really nice. Whose plot is this?
So beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Hey, yo, let's get that AP News. Okay, we're going to do that real quick and then come out on the other side. Me and Dice on the radio here.
This is fun.
KGUM FM and Deddy to Guam.
News, I'm Ben Thomas. A ship ran aground in the Strait of Hormuz today on a route not approved by Iran. Charles de Ledesma has details.
The Iranian state TV report appeared aimed at underlining Tehran's claims to control the Strait of Hormuz, which the world has long considered an international waterway. It saw a fifth of all oil and natural gas pass through it in peacetime. Iran has used its ability to choke off the waterway as a key source of leverage since the war began, disrupting global markets for energy and other critical goods. Talks are ongoing in Qatar to end the Iran war, with the US and Iranian negotiators present. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Oil prices eased today on hopes the U.S. and Iran do find an end to their war and fully reopen the strait. Brent crude dropped below $72 per barrel. AAA puts the nationwide average for a gallon of gas below $3.85. On Wall Street, while most stocks rose, drops for tech companies pulled the market lower. The S&P fell 0.2%, the Nasdaq 0.7%, while the Dow shed just 14 points. Meanwhile, Sakar Magani reports,
President Trump says there's a simple reason for his growing fortune. Financial disclosures show the president made roughly $1.2 billion off his cryptocurrency ventures last year.
Well, you know why I'm profiting? Because the stock market's going up.
And tells reporters he does not direct his own investments. Fund managers do.
I don't talk to him. I don't even speak to him.
He repeatedly said market gains are helping the country as a whole.
We're all profiting. I'm profiting because I have a lot of money and a lot of cash.
But even his own Treasury chief has said about 38% of Americans don't have stock market exposure. Sagar Magani, Washington.
And at the World Cup, Harry Kane sent England onward with both goals and a 2-1 win against Congo. This is AP News. Donna Warder has the latest primary results.
In Colorado's Democratic primary for the U.S. House, it was a stunning defeat Tuesday for 30-year incumbent Diana DeGette, losing to a 29-year-old former lawyer and Democratic socialist in the 1st Congressional District.
I'm Maylak Quiros, and tonight, this victory belongs to every single one of you. We will not wait to take the fight to Donald Trump and the oligarchy. We will not wait!
Audio courtesy of KMGH. In other races, U.S. Senator John Hickenlooper fended off State Senator and Progressive Julie Gonzalez. And in the race for Colorado governor, State Attorney General Phil Weiser won the Democratic primary and is favored to win in November. I'm Donna Warder.
There's more news at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas.
Celebrating America's 250th birthday. He grew up in poverty and never attended high school or college, but Abraham Lincoln became one of our greatest presidents, keeping our nation whole after the Civil War, even after 11 southern states tried to secede from the Union.
77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
He persuaded Congress to pass the amendment that abolished slavery, and he delivered one of the most important speeches in the history of our nation, the Gettysburg Address, honoring our fallen soldiers and advocating for equality and our democratic government.
We here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, and that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth.
You're listening to Mornings with Patti, where the conversation belongs to everyone.
Half a day, Guam. This is Paul Stanko with your National Weather Service. There could be a slight increase in showers late tonight. Otherwise, mainly isolated showers will prevail through Saturday night. Combined seas will be 3 to 5 feet through Friday night, then they will start to rise. All these rises will be brought by Tropical Storm 09W, which will likely pass between Guam and Saipan. The risk of rip currents is moderate today, but will become high by Sunday. The fire danger is low today, will become moderate Friday, but then become low again Sunday most likely. The latest weather information is always available at www.weather.gov/GUM. Be sure to watch that page as Tropical Storm 09W passes Sunday and Monday.
The road to Adelup is here, and this time we spoke with Democrat candidates, Senator Torius Terlahi and Senator Sabina Perez. Here is your opportunity to hear how they plan to govern Guam. Watch the conversation on Wave 105's YouTube channel, dated May 28th. This is a Glimpses of Guam radio station.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the show hosts, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the staff or management of Wave 105.1 FM, Glimpses Media, or our partners. We strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, and we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105.1 FM. Enjoy the show.
Stay sharp, stay curious, stay connected. Wave 105, the talk of Guam. Glimpses Media.
Knowledge is power. In just 60 seconds, the Evolt 360 provides you a unique experience and a detailed report of your body composition for you to take action to improve your health. The Evolt 360, turning information into inspiration to live a balanced lifestyle. Evolt 360 is exclusively at the Take Care Wellness Center. Go to Simply Book Me or call 671-646-6956 extension 7260 for more information and to schedule an appointment with a member of the Take Care Wellness.
Celebrating America's 250th birthday. America loves a competition, whether it's an athletic event or a political battle. But one of the most famous American competitions of all began on June 11th, 2002.
Who will be next? This is American Idol.
For almost a quarter of a century, millions of viewers have tuned in to see contestants from all over the country compete for the crown.
The winner of American Idol 2002 is Kelly Clarkson.
No other television series has created as many stars.
The winner of American Idol 2005 is Carrie Underwood.
Not just Kelly and Carrie, but Jennifer Hudson, Adam Lambert, Scotty McCreery, Philip Phillips, Benson Boone, and so many more.
The road to Adelup continues. This time, we sit down with Republican candidates. Vice Speaker Tony Atta and E.J. Calvo. Catch the full conversation that took place on May 5th on the Wave 105's YouTube channel. Stay informed and hear their vision for Guam's future. Wave 105 is a glimpses of Guam radio station.
Where Guam talks, debates, and stays informed. Wave 105, the talk of Guam.
We're pouring a glass of a bold, licorice-flavored liqueur that once served as a vital survival asset on the high seas. Welcome to the National Day Spotlight for July 2nd.
In the 1700s, Caribbean pirates plundered sweet, licorice-flavored anisette and traded those heavy wooden barrels like cold, hard cash. But those rough, cutthroat sailors didn't actually crave a fancy European nightcap. They just needed to survive. On grueling, months-long ocean voyages, fresh drinking water quickly stagnated into a foul, bacteria-ridden sludge. To stay alive in the heat, pirates discovered that pouring a heavy splash of strong anise spirits directly into their putrid water rations killed the germs and completely masked the horrific taste. So as we observe National Anisette Day, we look back on a unique twist of maritime history. It turns out that what high society considered a delicate luxury, pirates considered the ultimate survival tool.
So I'm thinking I might have had just the anisette. I'd have skipped the water part.
I'm sure if you're thirsty enough.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Here, drink this and you will die, or don't drink it and you will die.
We are also celebrating National Fried Clam Day and World UFO Day. I'm Alice Anderson.
And I'm Marlo Anderson with the National Day Calendar, reminding you to celebrate every day.
If you're looking for world-class website hosting at a fair price, Pair Networks is your best choice. Whether you're a professional web designer or a beginner just getting your site online, Pair Networks has a web hosting plan that's right for you. Log on and learn more at pair.com. That's PAIR.com. Pair Networks, world-class web hosting at a fair price. Visit us at pair.com. Pair Networks.
Registering a domain name on the web? You should know about Pairnick. Pairnick offers .com names at a great price with quality service you expect. Because Pairnick is powered by internet leader Pair Networks. Whether you need a domain name for business or personal use, Pairnick is your best choice. Remember Pairnick when you need a domain name. That's PAIRNIC.com. Pairnick.
More than radio, it's Guam's group chat, Wave 105. Join the conversation. Glimpses Media.
Minutes after 9 o'clock in the morning here on a Thursday. It is the 2nd of July, and Guam is sort of listening out to all the media to find out what is going on with the storm. They did a 7 o'clocker talking about the advisory. There is a public advisory as of 8 o'clock this morning on what is now known as Tropical Storm 09W, which will eventually be called Bobby when it graduates into a typhoon. When it graduates into the name-calling part of it. Oh, we're calling it names now. Don't get me wrong. But it isn't Bobby. Anyway, they've upgraded to a tropical storm. Joint Typhoon Warning Center reports rapid intensification now expected as forecast tracks show a passage through the Marianas late Sunday into Monday. Okay, so that's July 5th through the 6th. With the latest forecast indicating Tropical Storm 09W could reach Category 4 super typhoon strength at the time of passage.
Okay, super typhoon. Got it.
Could reach Category 4 super typhoon strength
okay.
at the time of passage.
Sunday
night through Monday morning.
Monday. Got it. Okay.
Begin preparations now. Do not wait for a watch or a warning. Well, you know, I think a lot of people are at work right now.
Super typhoon strength.
A lot of people are at work right now, and they're not, or unless they've taken off because they want a 4-day weekend. But I mean, a lot of people are at work, and so preparations are happening maybe yesterday or today, tonight when everybody gets off of work, and people are going to be jamming tomorrow. I think it was a Gov Guam payday, so all those folks have definitely been paid. And so they got, a little extra cash to go to all these places if they need to. I don't know what Home Depot looks like, or Benson, or ERC, or any of these other these other Guam hardware stores where their people might be fortifying. It was only 4 months ago that we had a big run. Most people, I think, are picking up things like, portable charger type things, right? And so with that, all of that shopping. I managed to get some food yesterday, but when you got a lot of adults hanging around and doing the same thing every day, then food is always going to be the thing that everybody's looking out for. So we're going to make sure, obviously you got to make sure that you've got all of the necessities there. So having said that, with all of the shopping that will be done, just know the Attorney General is watching. They have released a warning out to people that they're price gouging. As soon as it becomes Core 2, price gouging is absolutely against the law. They have had they've had people who don't understand that you can't raise the price of these necessities in response. They're probably doing it now, but they said prohibited with Core 2.
Got you.
This restriction does not prevent merchants like gas stations, fuel companies, providers from lowering prices. Okay. Well, gouging usually goes the other way. No price gouging will be tolerated. Moylan reminds and cautions merchants, landlords, and fuel providers. No price gouging will be tolerated. As Guam prepares for possible severe weather, the law is clear. Merchants can't raise prices in anticipation of a disaster, but you can lower them if you want. Please. Price freeze upon core declaration. Once core 1 or 2 or 3 is declared, wholesale and retail prices are frozen and remain frozen until 72 hours after Guam returns to core 4. This freeze applies to gasoline, diesel, propane, and all essential goods. Violators face 3 times the gross profits of overcharged goods, 5 times the amount of overcharges for services or rentals, court injunctions, and enforcement actions by the AG. When Guam prepares for a storm, our people should never be taken advantage of. We will enforce the law to protect our client, we the people. He also reminds fuel companies and merchants, you may lower your prices at any time. We the people. Wait. Oh, sorry, I wrote one extra we the people. Okay, it's okay. It's Independence Day. With global instability affecting fuel markets, if costs drop, prices should drop. What the law prohibits is raising prices on our people who are trying to prepare. As we close in on core declaration, residents are encouraged to secure supplies, check on neighbors, and stay informed.
Okay.
Good advice.
That's
some
great
people
advice.
don't get it, right? Some people, new merchants or some of these mom and pop stores or these places where they're not always up on stuff. You can tell that when you walk in the store. It's like, I don't think you can do that. Are you allowed to put that on the counter like that? I mean, there's a safety. I mean, there's a sort of sanitary issue here.
Okay.
People complain about stuff like that all the time. But the bigger markets and those that know or have done this before, they've got to be reminded that it's a great time right now because you got a captive audience that's built in right now that needs this stuff. So the demand is pretty high, and whatever supply, and it looks like there's plenty of supply. You can't raise the prices because it's not fair. Although I have seen last typhoon, it was one price one day, and there was the only reason I didn't pick it up is because there were no carts left. And I had to come back. I thought, I'll just come back because it looks like they had a big supply. And I came back, and the next day, the price was about $10 more.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I was like, this thing yesterday was $37. Today, whatever that price was, is now $47, close to $48.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, that's not
cool.
But you also have to understand that when you're shopping around, do you actually look at prices and know, like, the certain goods that you buy, how much that normally costs? Oh, you just got price.
Get out.
Just like grocery.
You
money.
go in, you see how long the line is, right? And then be like, okay, counter number 3. Okay, I have 15 seconds to get counter number 3. That's where I'm going. Grab. Counter number 3. I'm out of there. I don't do the self-checkout because I still don't know how to use that thing. Sorry. Self-checkout.
Okay,
I
I
don't know how
got
to use
you
that.
beat on that, but everything else is like I have a talk show that happens on aisle 4 at Payless. I'm just going to let you know that's like it's the meeting grounds. I meet many people in produce. We like
What
stand
y'all
there
talk
talking
about in the grocery store?
Patty, I was going to remind you.
Oh God!
About that.
Oh God!
Yeah.
No.
Patty, you know you were talking the other day about.
Oh my God!
Well, you know what? In my case, that's what I get.
don't
That's
do
what I
that.
get. But a lot of them, even still, if it's not a talk show, a lot of it's like people will just say, "I listen to you," and then I stop. You know, what is your name? You know, where do you live? You know, thanks for listening. I'm not gonna. It's like, oh, thanks, and then walk away. I can't be fake like
Be
that.
embarrassed.
I'm
Be like,
interested.
Dice, you got all kids cereal. Is that Fruit Loops?
What?
Hold on, Applejack's. How old are you?
Well,
First of all, get out of my groceries.
Get out of my business. Well, actually, yesterday I did cross the line. There's a gentleman, a retired gentleman. He did not know me, and I did not know him. And he was walking with his little mini car. I call it the Barbie carts. You ever see those Barbie carts?
The Barbie carts.
They're real
Oh,
tall.
those
They're
are so
tall, and they're
cute.
just like enough to. So he had a little Barbie cart because he was thinking he was going to go in and just with the
y'all
Barbie
don't get
cart.
a regular size
If you
carts.
know that's going to fill up in a second,
know that's
right?
gonna fill
So he says to me, I rounded one at the corners, and he goes, I'm sorry, because he was like, he looked like a fish out of water, and he's like, I'm sorry, because he felt like he was in the way, but hey, everybody's in the way, right? Where it's a busy place. So I go, no, you're good. And then he goes, man, I'm just,
Dude,
the way he said it, he goes, man, I'm just shopping for my wife.
Just want to grab the stuff and go.
He looked like he did not know the first place to go. I'm shopping for my wife.
I love those.
And I turned around and I busted out laughing because you could tell that he was not in command of the situation. And I said, bro, you're supposed to make a list. He didn't laugh. It was like, mind your own business. But he said, I'm shopping for, but he sounded so defeated.
I love those guys. They be grocery
They
shopping.
be trying.
They try. Got their wife on FaceTime. Get the one in the back.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Your wife
That's
is
exactly
on
what
FaceTime.
I heard
Video
that
chat.
yesterday. I heard that yesterday, but somebody was in the comments there and they were on speakerphone. It's got a gray cover. No, not that one. It's gray.
other one.
What are you, colorblind?
Oh man, not the FaceTime and the grocery
But see, when I go
stores.
shopping,
I'm so
it's an
dead.
event. That's why
Okay.
nobody likes to go shopping with me.
I got you.
Reese goes shopping.
Okay.
She inspects. Her and Erica inspect every item,
Oh, yeah.
basically.
Oh, they're
They're
they
very
read the
thorough.
labels. Oh, okay.
And I do too, because I have to I need some low carb
Look,
stuff,
man,
and I have
ate
to go
number
in.
5 dye, number red, number 6.
Oh, no,
I
yeah,
had
yeah,
number
yeah.
7 yellow too. It's like I ate all the red dye.
I ate all the red dime good.
All the dyes. Number
I know.
11 and 13.
I know. I hear you. And
I
that
get you.
so yes, that's I was out sort of shopping, and I take my time. When you're shopping with people who don't really care about what it is that they're, that's the way I am when I go clothes shopping. I hate that. I'm just like, pick it, find it.
Oh, no,
looks like
clothes is more
I'm.
thorough.
See, you're
Clothes-
standing.
clothes is
I
more
don't care.
thorough.
I'm just
take a little
obviously I
longer.
don't care
I
because
take,
you know.
I take a little longer for the clothes.
No, I'm just looking at it. Reese buys my clothes, and it's generally she goes through every hanger and she looks and she imagines, so it takes her some time. I go in there, I snatch and run, man. I'm like, whatever, looks good. Right size, put it up to me. Okay, looks like my boobs will fit. I'm gone, right? Grocery shopping, I like to take my time because I like the products. I really like reading the labels and making sure. So I study a little bit harder. When you're going on base, here's a plan.
Okay, let's go.
You got to go, right, when you have multi-lanes getting into the base. This is what I do every single time.
Got it. We're on the base.
We go, right before we hit that line, I go left or right.
Okay.
You get on the left lane, you get in the right lane.
Right.
You study the sentry. At the gate. Okay. And if the guy's looking like he's pretty cool, you know what I mean? Rolling
They don't
people
know
through.
you by now?
Oh, God, no.
Oh.
Dude, why?
Okay.
No.
Which base?
Navy.
Okay, got it. Oh, that's too
they
far.
know you at Anderson.
No, that's too far. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
you roll in the
Anderson-
shopette. It's like, hey, Dice. I'm like, hey, girl, how
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah.
You know, okay, gotcha.
I don't know anybody at Anderson, and I don't know anybody at Navy. So, I mean, I just because I'm actually shopping for somebody who's generally is disabled and in the car.
Okay.
I could say more about that
I
scenario,
was,
but anyway.
I was like, okay.
You know I got more to say.
I know. I was like, we're not doing this.
Yeah. So you know what all
today.
those miles look like between my house and the front gate at Naval Station. I'm like, if this guy does not shut his trap. Anyway, light's green. Shut up. Anyway, so we get up and I go left or right. So he's always looking at the sentry to find out, and sometimes it's even by gender.
Okay.
Because if you get somebody who's a little bit more stocky and they look impatient, they're waving you through, right, and they go, oh God, looks like they got a mean. We're judging the guard.
Got to. It's like.
And then you try to measure which line. Oh, yeah, go left, because he's like looking at cards and he's just saluting and he's not. There's no. And they go, look at this guy on the right. On the right, the guy's like chatty. He's chatty. How y'all doing today? Yeah. Everything okay? All right. You have a nice day now. That kind of thing. He's like, my passenger doesn't like that. My passenger's just like, wave me through. Do not look at me. Do not talk to me.
Just make it quick.
He's like, and I'm like, turn down the radio. Why? Grumpy old soul.
It's like, okay, hey, grumpy much. I got you. No, I like going through them lines. It's kinda cool.
I mean, if they're nice, some of them are really like how you doing today? I appreciate the how you doing today. Actually, I was feeling pretty crappy until I just talked to you because I had this passenger in my car that made me feel crappy for the last 5 miles. So I'm rolling up on you, and you've got pleasantries. I'm here for the pleasantries, man.
I'm here for that, too.
I'm here for that.
Let's get that in there.
What's your name? But you can't linger too long because the people behind you, they know you're talking, and they're like, stop it. Stop it. We all need to get into the same. But I do appreciate.
Like 50 workers be like, oh, this is going to take a while. Why did we come?
The one in the van,
Yeah,
the one in the van, and they all got reflective vests on.
And you just like moods of face already. It's like I don't want it. We can't even turn around now.
Oh my God, so true.
It's like, oh, this is gonna take a while. How many of them is there? Then you're just mad and just hating. You're just like low-key hating.
Well, see, my
Now you're
dumb
just
butt.
salty.
You're inside a
just
military
salty.
base, and once you cross that line that says U.S. government property, you
Yeah.
belong to their rules, right?
Yes.
So don't be doing stupid stuff that you would be doing on Marine Corps Drive, right?
We've seen a few
And
of
I
those.
don't understand. So the other day, I saw there's a bunch of sailors in town, right? Because
Okay,
there's
yeah.
like those ships or whatever's
All right,
going on.
yeah.
And this one guy is carrying like 2 things under his arms.
Okay.
He's carrying 2 big bags. He's leaning.
All right.
And he's walking. And military bases have no man's land, right? It's like,
Right.
where are you going? There's
going?
nothing out here.
No. Be like, ooh,
Unless
look
you're
at
going to
the
a silos or something that we can't see.
No trees.
There's no trees. There's
nothing.
no buildings. This
There's
guy's just got
nothing here.
what is this PT? So he's
Nothing here.
carrying like a Raising Cane's bag. So he just came from the Raising
It's
Cane's,
a
right?
long, boring drive.
Not is it Raising Cane's or Chick-fil-A? Raising Cane's.
It's a boring drive.
So the guy's walking. He's walking, and and it's like 1,000 degrees outside, and
Right.
clearly he's not from here.
It's heat.
So I want to go. Hey,
Okay.
we're going his way. Mm-hmm. Where are you going? Hop in the back seat. Need a ride to your whatever barracks? Where are you going?
Where you going?
Where are you going?
Where you going? We just
Boy,
nosy.
was I read the.
All
You don't pick up. Blah, 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 blah. I'm
All
like,
up in
what?
the business.
Would you not pull over and go, yo, jump in the car, man? Where you going?
Oh, no. On
Oh.
the base? No.
Sure, why not?
Do you? I don't. Do we? I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't. I've never done that. Is that a thing? Am I not trending?
No, it's just
It's a
it's
thing?
just a nice gesture. The guy was sweating. He's carrying a bunch of stuff. He's on the military base. He's not literally hitchhiking, but like you're going. I'm going his way. I'm heading in the same direction. If I were alone, I would because the person in the car was like,
Those
"Don't
are
you
like-
dare do it." I would have said, "Bro, jump in the back seat."
Those are those first
Where are you going?
privates. Those are the first privates. They're getting
It's
in that
on-
initiation.
But it's on base.
Be like, hey, go to the store, private. Okay. Don't use the car. Run. Okay. And grab everything. No backpack.
Oh,
Just
you
put-
think that's initiation?
You know, I was just saying, sometimes don't ruin it now. Hey, he might be one of the naughty soldiers, and they torture him now.
Yeah.
He might be one of the naughty
This
ones.
is
Maybe
true.
some naughty ones. Be like, so you hitchhiked, Dicey. Go back again and do it again.
Go back again, and
Do it again.
we'll make a man out of you
Right?
yet.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Be like,
I don't know, Matt. Back
But
in
I
the
get
day,
it. I get it.
back in the day where things were, well, listen, back in the day was in the 60s and 70s for me.
Okay.
There was a whole lot of
Right on.
junk happening in the 70s as far as the military was concerned, and that was the Vietnam War. But, maybe it's rose-colored glasses, definitely, for sure. Rose-colored glasses. You don't, you're not supposed to, pick up strangers. I didn't feel like this was a situation where there was somebody who was going to do me harm walking with a dang Raising Cane's bag. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking about that. I was like, that guy's really struggling. Maybe he needs a ride. Where are you going? I'm on the way. What are you going to do? So I don't know. Is it just me? Is it just me? Was that just a character flaw? I don't know. Anyway, so what?
No, sorry. We got a caller on the line, and
It says
one of their ideas was about food stamps being issued early because of the storm. Do you have anything on food stamps? It's a government payday that you did say.
Yes.
Food stamps.
Well, I mean, EBT and SNAP
I guess
benefits
so,
would be
yeah.
coming out the way they normally do.
But not earlier than because of the storm.
Are you talking about emergency? Because
no.
the
because just so that they don't have to wait until till whenever food stamps come out.
Okay, because you had the first 10 days, and depending on the last number of your Social Security
is
card
that how that
number,
goes?
that's when your date is. I see what you're saying. So if your Social Security number ends, the last number is a 0.
Okay.
Then you are on the 10th. So that's the longest you would have to wait until the 10th. So assuming that person wants to know if they're going to be able to get it before the 10th.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't even know who to call.
I wouldn't know either, but hey, it's a question. They're like,
Well, that would be the SNAP benefit. I think I have a number.
Okay.
Nobody said anything about
Nobody
that.
said
I
anything.
think don't
It's
you
just
have to
regular
go
degular.
Let me. God, do I? Is this
it
enough
like
to bother somebody important?
Like regular degular kind of,
Let me. I don't. Okay, let me just do this. I don't know who to ask,
All right.
but caller wants to know, right?
Yep. That's what they're asking.
SNAP benefits will be released before.
See, why do you call them SNAP? Isn't SNAP and EBT the same thing, or are they different?
EBT, it's a SNAP program,
It's a SNAP
and part of the
program.
SNAP program is the electronic balance transfer,
Oh.
benefits transfer.
Okay, that's electronic.
So you get
benefits
SNAP,
transfer.
and then they actually the SNAP program allows you to get EBT, like it to be put into your.
Okay, I thought
Benefits
they were
will
like
be
two
released
separate.
before. Before what? Before
the storm.
Then I'm gonna, no, because I'm saying
They're
that,
like trying to expedite their money right now.
Yeah,
I'm like, y'all making some
I'm sorry,
executive decisions here.
This guy's like, can you speed up your English? Because I'm sitting here waiting on an answer, and you're trying to find out sentence structure. Okay.
Be like, are they coming out early?
Before the storm.
Before the storm.
Yeah, because I was trying to make it because not gradually, but there's an order by which they're released by number.
By numbers.
Right.
Oh,
So
okay.
my Social
But
Security number is 5. The last number in my Social Security number is 5. Right. So
your first and last number on your SS is 5. That is so cool.
No. My last number on my Social Security number is 5. Right.
But what's the first number? Shouldn't it be a 5?
True, but they go by the last number.
Okay.
God, I should have used 4.
I'm like, wait, huh? Sorry, slow. Look, I went to
not
summer
everybody-
school like 11 times.
Only
You
people
gotta-
in this area and in Hawaii start with a 5, by the way.
yeah, right? I'm
if
like-
you're from Detroit, it starts with a 3. So
Stop.
let's just.
It starts with a 3 in
Yeah,
Detroit?
yeah.
I wouldn't mind being a 3.
Yeah?
I wouldn't mind being a 3.
Yeah,
I'm a 5.
it's
Are
having
you
a 5.
I'm
a 5. All
You're
my
a
kids
5.
are 5 because they're all born in Hawaii, so they're all
Okay,
5s.
yeah, see, I'm a 5. Okay, all right, fine.
So
Sorry,
okay,
going
so
back.
it ends.
Focus. I'm so
This guy's going. If you don't hurry up with my damn answer,
so sorry. Okay, go. Okay, go.
So
Yes.
from the 1st until the 10th, the first 10 days of the month is when they release SNAP benefits,
First
EBT.
10 days. I am
Right.
not shopping for the first 10 days.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding. Before, the
that's
reason
I
why they
won't
changed it is
Okay.
because everybody was going on the first
Right.
day.
I'm not going to go to the store first.
So when you want to go grocery shopping, the best time to go
is 11th?
Is the first 10 days. No, because the sales happen.
But it's crowded. Patty, no.
Hey, which one do you want? Which one do you want? Get everything.
wait.
Get everything.
I'm away.
Well, you could probably theoretically you could go on the 11th, but
think we'll be okay.
so on the you just killed me with
So
that
sorry.
number 5. It's like your first and last. I just
That's
got
so
it.
cool.
That is so funny.
I know. I
No.
was like, Patty, pick it up. Come on. How did you not get that? Never mind. Move on.
No, so ends with a 3. Then your SNAP EBT is available to you
Yes.
on the 3rd.
On the 3rd. Snap
If
EBT.
your Social Security number ends in a 0, then you're number 10.
Ooh, hates to be a 0.
Yeah.
Ooh, you just
All
lucked
good
out.
stuff is gone.
Yeah, all the goods is
You have to
gone.
wait until aftermath of typhoon. You have to, like, you're going to have to eat what you have and then wait till the 10th.
Get all the dirty onions. You know the dirty onions. Maybe some dirty onions. You have to kind of peel it a little bit. 'cause
Those and the
They
potatoes.
be so raggedy.
The potatoes are dirty anyway, right? It's all that dirt that you have to clean them off before you weigh them too.
I mean, the garlic is sprouting.
I just asked a question of a very important person. I feel guilty. I should have asked somebody else.
God.
It's like, why are you bothering me with this?
Oh my goodness.
Let me just get rid of that question. I just
Okay.
asked. I feel like I asked the wrong person.
All right. Well,
Okay,
you got a
now-
caller on line 1. His name is Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Hey, I just wanted to say that listening to you and Dice 105.1 makes radio very fun and addictive to listening to.
What did you learn about metaglosses, Gen 1 or Gen 2? You learn anything?
Sometimes they'll be saying, hey, Ben, the rice is dog loose. I said, wait, because I'm a 105.1 with Patty.
Hey, man, don't laugh at the Douglas rice. That's the best, right? The bottom? What do they call that? What do they call the crunchy part at the bottom?
Rice crackers.
The toasted part.
Toastus.
That's the best,
It's
especially
the
when you got no
toastus
teeth.
next. That's the one, man. I like that one. Yeah.
You know, all I was saying about the SNAP was because some people get it in the 10th. Maybe they can let them get it on the 6th or something. That way they can go buy a little bit food and water, dry goods. So that way, if it does hit us, no one's going to be flying to the store and it's all shut down, or the winds are in the rain. You know, because like you said, 0, that's a 10th. And those guys might not have a chance to go. Maybe they got no money, and that's why they're on SNAP and just buy some food. And that way they're prepared for, that's why we say prepare. And get some water, and that'll work. And who you might want to talk to would be Director of Public Health, Areola.
Yeah, yeah. I just
Anyway,
actually
man.
sent a note to her asking whether or not that is, whether or not, that these will be delivered earlier
You know, that
than
way
later.
people got some food on
Oh,
the table
sure.
and stored away, and they're prepared. And because it hits, it starts hard before the 10th, and those people that wait for the 10th, they might have to wait again a longer time, and they got no water, no dried goods. Just thinking about those people that might be getting theirs late.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why somebody called to see whether or not, a lot of people get a little bit nervous about stuff like this that happens when they're like another, 8 days away from getting benefits. So I've reached out. Let's see who answers the call. But I'll take a
Yeah,
break.
and it's just to help the people that might get theirs a little bit late. And anyway, 105.1, you guys get very addictive, man. Sometimes like, the rice is dog loose.
Rice
Wait,
is
because I'm on the radio. Anyway,
Thanks,
man, you
Ben.
guys have a nice day.
You
and,
too. Be safe.
It's nice that we have people like you who inform people, and let's stay safe. And make sure to take down all the campaign sign, Patty.
Oh, good one. I forgot about that one. Okay. All right, I'll
Thank
do
you.
that.
Have a nice
I'll
day.
send. All right, thanks a lot. I forgot about that one. That's what when I was talking to the governor, I was like, "There's so many of these bits and pieces that you have to remember about storms." I'm like, "Don't you just want to get on the air and just say, you know what to do?" Just, bro, you know what to do.
There's that.
Okay.
There's
Let me go ahead and call public health. We'll take a
Okay.
break, and hopefully we get an answer right after this.
Okay.
We're pouring a glass of a bold, licorice-flavored liqueur that once served as a vital survival asset on the high seas. Welcome to the National Day Spotlight for July 2nd.
In the 1700s, Caribbean pirates plundered sweet, licorice-flavored anisette and traded those heavy wooden barrels like cold, hard cash. But those rough, cutthroat sailors didn't actually crave a fancy European nightcap. They just needed to survive. On grueling, months-long ocean voyages, fresh drinking water quickly stagnated into a foul, bacteria-ridden sludge. To stay alive in the heat, pirates discovered that pouring a heavy splash of strong anise spirits directly into their putrid water rations killed the germs and completely masked the horrific taste. So as we observe National Anisette Day, we look back on a unique twist of maritime history. It turns out that what high society considered a delicate luxury, pirates considered the ultimate survival tool.
So I'm thinking I might have had just the anisette. I'd have skipped the water part.
I'm sure if you're thirsty enough.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Here, drink this and you will die, or don't drink it and you will die.
We are also celebrating National Fried Clam Day and World UFO Day. I'm Alice Anderson.
And I'm Marlo Anderson with National Day Calendar, reminding you to celebrate every day.
If you're looking for world-class website hosting at a fair price, Pair Networks is your best choice. Whether you're a professional web designer or a beginner just getting your site online, Pair Networks has a web hosting plan that's right for you. Log on and learn more at pair.com. That's PAIR.com. Pair Networks, world-class web hosting at a fair price. Visit us at pair.com. Pair Networks.
Registering a domain name on the web? You should know about Pairnick. Pairnick offers .com names at a great price with quality service you expect. Because Pairnick is powered by internet leader Pair Networks. Whether you need a domain name for business or personal use, Pairnick is your best choice. Remember Pairnick when you need a domain name. That's PAIRNIC.com. Pairnick.
The road to Adelup is here, and this time we spoke with Democrat candidates, Senator Tories Terlahi and Senator Sabina Perez. Here is your opportunity to hear how they plan to govern Guam. Watch the conversation on Wave 105's YouTube channel, dated May 28th. This is a Glimpses of Guam radio station.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the show hosts, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the staff or management of Wave 105.1 FM, Glimpses Media, or our partners. We strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, and we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105.1 FM. Enjoy the show.
Stay sharp, stay curious, stay connected. Wave 105, the talk of Guam. Glimpses Media.
Knowledge is power. In just 60 seconds, the Evo 360 provides you a unique experience and a detailed report of your body composition for you to take action to improve your health. The Evo 360, turning information into inspiration to live a balanced lifestyle. Evo 360 is exclusively at the Take Care Wellness Center. Go to Simply Book Me or call 671-646-6956 extension 7260 for more information and to schedule an appointment with a member of the Take Care Wellness Center.
Celebrating America's 250th birthday. America loves a competition, whether it's an athletic event or a political battle. But one of the most famous American competitions of all began on June 11th, 2002.
Who will be next? This is American Idol.
For almost a quarter of a century, millions of viewers have tuned in to see contestants from all over the country compete for the crown.
The winner of American Idol 2002 is Kelly Clarkson.
No other television series has created as many stars.
The winner of American Idol 2005 is Carrie Underwood.
Not just Kelly and Carrie, but Jennifer Hudson, Adam Lambert, Scotty McCreery, Philip Phillips, Benson Boone, and so many more.
The road to Adelup continues. This time, we sit down with Republican candidates. Vice Speaker Tony Atta and E.J. Calvo. Catch the full conversation that took place on May 5th on the Wave 105's YouTube channel. Stay informed and hear their vision for Guam's future. Wave 105 is a glimpse of Guam radio station.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
At GTA, there's no fine print favorites, no new customers only, no almost everyone, because everyone gets our best deal. Right now, sign up for any unlimited plan and get up to $400 off a premium smartphone. Yep, same deal, same savings. No hoops, no hassle. Switch, upgrade, or start fresh. No matter how you join, you win. Come into GTA today because the best deal, it's for everyone. Terms and conditions apply. GTA, we start with you.
Hafaday, Guam! The Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association invites you to the Fair Trade Show, Guam's premier hospitality and food service event. Join us August 19th and 20th at the Hyatt Regency Guam from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Experience hands-on training sessions and exciting culinary competitions featuring professionals, apprentices, and pastry talent. Discover new products, connect with suppliers, and celebrate Guam's hospitality industry. Don't miss Fair 2026. Visit GHRA.org for details.
Where Guam talks, debates, and stays informed. Wave 105, the talk of Guam.
We're pouring a glass of a bold, licorice-flavored liqueur that once served as a vital survival asset on the high seas. Welcome to the National Day Spotlight for July 2nd.
In the 1700s, Caribbean pirates plundered sweet, licorice-flavored anisette and traded those heavy wooden barrels like cold, hard cash. But those rough, cutthroat sailors didn't actually crave a fancy European nightcap. They just needed to survive. On grueling, months-long ocean voyages, fresh drinking water quickly stagnated into a foul, bacteria-ridden sludge. To stay alive in the heat, pirates discovered that pouring a heavy splash of strong anise spirits directly into their putrid water rations killed the germs and completely masked the horrific taste. So as we observe National Anisette Day, we look back on a unique twist of maritime history. It turns out that what high society considered a delicate luxury, pirates considered the ultimate survival tool.
So I'm thinking I might have had just the anisette. I'd have skipped the water part.
I'm sure if you're thirsty enough.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Here, drink this and you will die, or don't drink it and you will die.
We are also celebrating National Fried Clam Day and World UFO Day. I'm Alice Anderson.
And I'm Marlo Anderson with the National Day Calendar, reminding you to celebrate every day.
If you're looking for world-class website hosting at a fair price, Pair Networks is your best choice. Whether you're a professional web designer or a beginner just getting your site online, Pair Networks has a web hosting plan that's right for you. Log on and learn more at pair.com. That's PAIR.com. Pair Networks, world-class web hosting at a fair price. Visit us at pair.com. Pair Networks.
Registering a domain name on the web? You should know about Pairnick. Pairnick offers .com names at a great price with quality service you expect. Because Pairnick is powered by internet leader Pair Networks. Whether you need a domain name for business or personal use, Pairnick is your best choice. Remember Pairnick when you need a domain name. That's PAIRNIC.com. Pairnick.
More than radio, it's Guam's group chat, Wave 105. Join the conversation. Glimpses Media.
It's like that opening sounds like Olivia Dean.
You said like 9 other songs already, bro. You need to get off Olivia Dean, man. How is this?
Well,
Yeah?
it's that one, the piano note.
Ah, okay, I'm following. I'm with it now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I guess we're all just going to be hanging out.
We got nothing to do but eat.
Bad news after bad news.
Okay, so here's the plan for you folks that are trying to get your EBT early.
Give us a break. Go ahead.
I called public health, and they're waiting for instructions. So here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
At 10:30 this morning, they're going to have an all-hands-on meeting. So I think that it's cabinet and, all of the services.
All the likes, okay?
All of the things. And
Okay.
so, to include the military. I think it's like one big meeting, but it's a heavy weather briefing. They hear from Landon Islet. So you push
Okay.
for early release of the EBT. That's what we're doing right now. Me and Dice
All
together.
right, this is what we're doing.
We're going to push. If anybody's listening in the government of Guam, we're getting calls. People want to know.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure, not by our influence, but it's a regular standard agenda item. Like, public health will probably go, in my department, maybe we should release the money sooner. Or
Yes.
start the electronic transfer. Yeah. And they'd have to do it today because there's no banking tomorrow.
There's no banking. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So all of this stuff needs to be done today.
Beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Gotta get in
means
early.
tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
the natives are all going to be out there.
Oh,
We're all going to be out there.
it is. It's going to be busy tomorrow.
I'm going to try my hardest to do what I have to do right now. I'm gonna take advantage of procuring.
Do you see the parking lot road rage? It is real.
Is it?
The parking road rage, like fighting over a stall, can get real crazy. Like I've seen near riots almost breaking out in some of these places. Yeah, over
That's when I pull out my handicap
parking
sticker.
stalls. Yeah, dude, parking stalls. It gets pretty crazy.
Man, I'm sorry to
Hit
hear
and
that.
runs are real. they'll
Okay, yeah. Now you
they'll
got
ding
now you
your
got to
car-
fight.
Right?
Yeah.
They'll ding your car and they're just zip right out. It's like,
Yeah.
how do you not stop it? You
Yeah,
just
how
hit
do you
their
not
car.
see that? Mind your manners, you folks.
you know,
Everybody's
gotta
doing
be-
the same thing.
Trying to be a little, okay.
Do I smell molesto on the
It
air?
is. They're making oxtail kuddu.
Shush your face.
They
Why are
are,
you
with
telling
the
us that when
coconut
we're
milk.
how come you're telling us and we're 8 miles away?
It's like oxtail kuddu, coconut milk, pumpkin tips.
Don't are you
They
really?
are. Yeah, it's
Pumpkin
Jackie.
tips, oatmeal,
Jackie's
oatmeal,
got it all.
oxtail.
Yeah,
Are you
she-
really, Jackie?
No.
Oh, Dice.
I'm making the kuddu with the crab.
Kuddu what?
The crab.
The crab. So my mom, that's her. Every time it's a special occasion, I ask her what she wants. She always wants the crab.
Your
And you know
mom
what?
is celebrating
I
the
always
typhoon?
cross my fingers that she won't ask us. I have to break it up and get the meat to her. But I
yeah.
put the coconut milk with buck soybeans and eggplant.
Yummy.
Okay, man.
You know,
Now you're just
with
showing
the
off.
coconut milk, man.
Oh,
You
man.
Put it in the rice. And,
Oh,
you know.
stop it.
Yummy.
Wow, I love
Well,
that.
man, I thought about your hamburgers. I haven't had one in a
Right?
while.
That's what I
so
said.
that's
I don't
it.
want to do barbecue. So
Yeah,
I'm
barbecue hamburgers are really good.
No. Now
You
I
know,
don't want to
they-
eat some more barbecue. I figure I'm going to wait till Liberation Day so I can get malagu, right? But definitely hamburgers and hot dogs. And then you're telling me what else do I got a message from Barb Moffness who says, don't forget to add coleslaw, potato salad, watermelon, and something else. I'm trying to find her and I'm like, good. Oh yeah, a good one. Baked beans, coleslaw, potato salad, and watermelon. That I have to add those items. And you?
Yes.
What are you guys
Yes.
gonna do? You're gonna do the crab.
Yes.
Okay.
And I might barbecue fish, put it in the foil and put mayo and ginger and garlic and
what?
onions.
The fish
and
or the crab?
Tomatoes.
The fish or the crab? The fish or the crab? You're gonna do that with the fish?
The fish. The fish.
Oh, nice.
I
love
like
that.
I like to grill the fish because I think it's better. For me, I prefer it better than fried
Yeah, me too.
because it's so messy to fry.
Yeah,
you
and you
know?
get all
The
that
fish, I just
kuddu in the bottom
put
of
it
the
on
tin
the grill
foil.
and keep turning it while I'm drinking.
Hey, hello. Partay. Partay at Jackie's house.
I'm on my way, Melissa. We're coming.
I like it. I like
gotta
it, Steve.
enjoy it right side of my car. You know,
gotta
I'm a
do it,
caregiver,
baby.
and, I'm just facing the walls. Okay, so
I know.
that's just the plan about that fish because I've been thinking about that grilled fish.
Okay, sis, you go and do that. I am right behind you. Well done. Well done.
I'll take a picture of it again and show you.
See, again, she's going to make us malagu because she's...
Remember when I sent you the crab? this is hard,
That's
Mother's-
it.
Oh,
Hey,
it's
you
Mother's
do
Day.
it.
Yeah, Mother's Day when my mom requested that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do it. You do your thing. It's Independence Day. Do whatever the hell you want. It's freedom,
Indeed.
It's
Jackie.
freedom
Yes.
to eat and
It's
grill
not
whatever
free.
you want.
Freedom's not free.
Well, because you're going to
But
pay for.
before I go, I
Yeah.
just want to say one thing, okay?
Okay.
I just appreciate you guys. Today's Thankful Thursday, and I want you to know that we really enjoy every morning we turn on our radio. So we got to make sure we get some batteries for our portable radio because I want to hear the updates and, they keep it positive for the people of Guam, for us to know that we're still okay together, one Marianas.
Hey, there we go.
I like that.
And that God will continue to bless each of us, in this trying times of the storm and whatever He plans for us.
That is the attitude. You
So
got
God bless us all, and I believe in God, and then He knows what's good for us. So
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
happy 4th of July,
Happy
Guam.
4th of July. Thank you
And
so
God
much.
bless us all.
Yeah.
Because freedom is not free, and I appreciate all the military. I really do. Thank you for your service and for my freedom that I enjoy each day.
Okay. Thank you very, very much.
Biba.
Biba, indeed. And if I guess with that, maybe the pressure will be on. I don't think the pressure. I think it's an agenda item where they consider the services that normally come at the beginning of the month or before typhoons, anticipating what is needed by the public. So hopefully the SNAP beneficiaries will be able to get their benefits electronically sent to their accounts so that they have an opportunity today and tomorrow and Saturday to prepare like the rest of us. Jackie, have a good day. Our love to your mom. Dice,
You
man,
too.
but I guess I'll see you somewhere in the clouds and the rain on Sunday or Monday. We'll figure it out.
Especially because they said it's supposed to hit the south again as usual. You know what I mean, Patty?
Eat up, babe. Eat up.
Okay.
All right, sweetheart.
Love you guys.
Love you
Bye-bye.
too. Take care. So, Dice, you and
got
I
the
will.
goods.
She does.
She's got the
You
goods.
and I will hook up sometime over the weekend. We are waiting for our fearless leader to be able to determine what our programming. But we will make sure that everybody knows. I'm sure Polly's got
100%.
what our plans are
Get
for
some
broadcasting.
batteries, guys.
It means everything to us on both Power 98 and the Wave to be on the radio during the time when you need the information the most.
Download the app.
Oh, download
the
app.
app just in case your radio runs out of batteries.
Tell them where the app is. It's on. It's Glimpses of Guam.
Glimpses, yes.
Then Power 98 has its own app.
three
Or
radio
actually Glimpses of Guam. You can tap in to listen to both of the three of the stations
three
if you just
stations
go
on one app, yes.
So go to Glimpses of Guam. Download that app and
it's free.
And we'll be here to guide you through it because that's kind of what we do.
That's what we do. That's what we do because we don't sleep. I mean, we're going to wait for our coconut milk.
I'm not
and
sleeping
crab.
now. I'm not sleeping
man,
at all.
I
I'm
want to
just
go to
staying where I'm
Melissa
at.
right now. She's
Okay.
got them goods.
Go ahead
Why
and
does
you go
she
eat
do
your.
that?
Go ahead and go
It's like,
eat your.
why would you
go
make-
ahead and go eat
Right.
your fake oxtail kuddu
us
and
in
all
your-
that stuff that you just told me that she was making. You got me all worked up. Hey, I see Luella Lucinho in the studio. So now that's a vibe. In the studio next, and of course you can catch Polly Soup this afternoon. He'll guide you through the afternoon storm updates and then give us programming advice and recommendations for the weekend. That's ahead. Otherwise, you can find us on our social media. We'll be doing our best to post all of the information that you need to know all throughout the weekend. In between time, be nice to the people in the parking lots that are trying to do what you're doing, and in the stores, be patient. And there's plenty to go around. God bless us all. Dice, have a wonderful time
Thank
over
you,
the
guys.
weekend. We'll see you back here next week.
Right.
It is 10 o'clock in the morning. We're Mornings with Patty. I'm Patty.
I'm Dice.
KGUM-FM and Dedido Guam. Have a safe and happy 4th of July. And if it's your birthday, happy birthday. And let's all stay safe during this dang typhoon
they're doing.
or tropical storm, what
Whatever
they're calling
it
it
is. It's
now.
like
whatever.
part 10 of testing our resilience. We're so over this.
Period. Bye, guys. Mwah.
Love you guys.